is too smart and loyal, I like that, that's a major key. Start a label, run it, sign yourself, that's a major key. With Tony had on the table, it's like us, we a major key. Still underestimated, every mistake a lesson, Mercury retrograde. So if that planet's been backwards up in the heavens, maybe it's affecting backwards. You don't be repping lately, I'm playing chess with babies. Personating, rehearsing, nothing like me, I'm the first to meet, and that's quite certainly so official. Some get this issue, some women crazy, I'm like a woman to show me wisdom. Y'all ain't meant to be played, says the brother with the signature fade. Still paid stacking, new stats.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Union Tuttle Stadium on the campus of Union High School for the 2025 meeting of the Stillwater Pioneers and your Union Redhawks. At this time, we ask that you please rise if you're able and remove your hats as members of the Union High School Air Force Junior ROTC present the colors and remain standing for the singing of our national anthem by Union Senior Jack Mather under the direction of Union Choir Directors Scott Zintafer and Daniel Frericks.
Oh, say, can you sing by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed by the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
A special thank you to the 138th Fighter Wing, Tulsa Air National Guard.
Okay, can you hear me up there? Yep, cool. Yep, perfect. Yeah. He's right next door to you in the coach's booth. I saw him sitting there just a minute ago. Cool. All right. Thanks.
And now, please welcome participants from this year's Varsity Cheer Mini Clinic. These young students have had an opportunity to work with the Union Varsity cheerleaders this week and are performing a cheer and dance for you tonight. Please welcome your future Union cheerleaders, along with the Union Varsity cheerleaders.
Good evening and welcome to Union Tuttle Stadium for Week 1, game number 2 of the 2025 high school football season. It's Union and Stillwater. Union hosting Stillwater a year after we went to Stillwater and lost by 1 in overtime after mounting an incredible comeback, a 21-point comeback, a thrilling game last year, and we're hoping for another great game this year. I'm Dave Davis in for Rick Corey. He's usually doing play-by-play. We've got Coach Jeff Brown in here, one of the assistant principals at the high school, on color, Richard Johns on stats, and Jeff Johns on the field. And Coach, I'm just curious, your thoughts last week, Bentonville, what we did good, what we can build on going into this week.
I'm telling you, the more you watch that Bentonville team, they're really good. They're talented at quarterback and their receivers. They might be one of the best teams we're going to see in the first 5 weeks of the season for sure. And a good test for us. Like I've told everybody that I've talked to, that to me that was almost a one-score game if you looked at it overall. They scored on a 4th and 1, threw a 50-50 ball and caught it over a corner that had decent coverage. We're driving to score and throw an interception with inexperienced quarterbacks, new guys just getting ready to play. We moved the ball on them at times. So I take away a lot of positives from that. You never have any moral victories, but I thought our guys matched up pretty good, and Bentonville was a really good barometer because they're probably the best team in Arkansas right now.
Right, and they're going to be, probably at the end. They've been in the state title game 3 years in a row at State 7A, and there's no reason to think they won't be back there this year. We also had Jeff Johns, and he talked with Antonio Brown, Coach Brown, earlier. This is what Coach Brown had to say, his analysis before tonight's second game.
Well, Coach, last week you told me that this week of practice was going to be about discipline, recruiting, reducing penalties. Do you feel like you were able to really make some headway this week of practice?
I believe so because, that's all I heard all week, you know what I mean? And so I kind of, put it on our...
And that's Coach Antonio Graham. I had a little bit of a technical issue. We're going to pick that right back up from where he is speaking here. We're going to try this again. Sorry, folks.
Keep your hand inside and driving your feet for, O-lineman driving for 5 yards until the whistle blows. But the biggest thing is, you have to be careful because sometimes your kids will play a little too tentative. So I don't want to take that aggression away from it. So they heard about it in the meetings, they heard about it, and I just okay, I'm done with it. Because I don't want to hold them back from being, not too aggressive because you can kind of be scared to make a mistake, And so I think they get the point, what I meant, so about the penalties and stuff.
But Stillwater, obviously a very talented team, really big physical group there. What do you think that your team needs to do to execute tonight and get a win against a team that is going to throw some weird stuff at you?
I think you got to attack them. You got to be willing to throw the first punch, and if you wait around to not throw the first punch, it'll be a long night for you. They're well coached. Their head coach does a great job. I've been knowing him for a long time. He actually coached under Coach Fred at one point in time as well, and so he's a good friend of mine. It's all respect on my end from him, and love what he's doing with that program as well. And so we just got to come out and match their intensity.
I assume that means we're going to see some pretty strong aggressiveness on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. I think in games, in every game for me, it starts in the front seven. If you're not aggressive in the front seven, we can't establish the run game. It's definitely going to be a long night, So I'm challenging our guys to get the run game going and open up some holes for Tay and LJ and others along those lines, and then that opens up the pass game. And so I'm looking forward to seeing the physicality and defense. We got to get off the field on third down, and we got to win on first down, And so if we can do those things and control the line of scrimmage, we're going to be all right.
Well, perfect, Coach. I wish you the best, and we'll talk to you after the game.
I appreciate you, boss.
Coach Antonio Graham alongside our sideline reporter Jeff Johns. So, Coach, as we look at the coin toss here between Stillwater and Union, what are we going to see from Stillwater tonight? Because they play a very unique, almost trademark style of defense that you don't see too often.
No, you don't. And really funny story, the coach Clarence Holly was one that kind of installed that at Stillwater several years ago. And you want to go a way back story. He was my defensive back coach when I played football at Arkansas Tech in the early 90s. And Coach Holly's has been around football a long time. He's kind of innovative, and he developed that defense over a few years. It gives high school kids a chance to not have responsibilities and just go play downhill and be a little exotic. And it throws high school kids a lot of fits with the looks that they give.
So they're kind of be standing up on the defensive line. I've seen them drop 5 defensive backs 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. If you're Dylan Taylor, if you're Skylar Mormon, Dylan Taylor, 11 for 20 last week, 2 touchdown throws, including a phenomenal broken play on the run. Just looked great. Skylar Mormon, as you mentioned, a 50-yard bomb to Dewberry, had an interception there, 41 yards on the ground for Skylar Mormon. If you're Skylar and Dylan, how are you approaching and how are you coaching those quarterbacks?
Please welcome the
I don't know if I would want to. I mean, but here's the thing, is that they're going to do what they're going to do, but they also have to adjust to us too. Don't change a whole lot that you're doing. Their coverages, okay, I know for sure their coverages, their eyes are going to be in the backfield more than traditional defensive backs will be. They could, because of the kind of coverage that they play. So you can take advantage of that, and there is spots in that. You just have to be able to defend all the stuff they're going to throw at you up front, and that's hard for high school kids.
On the offensive line, we gave up 4 sacks last week, but 3 of them were at the very end. Let's take a look at the Union Redhawks. Let's meet the Redhawks now.
The 1963 football campaign will be remembered as the pivotal season in their march back to the top.
He's got it. Touchdown, Union. Taking a plane on the 21st century. Smells it. Running into the end zone. Touchdown. The state champions for 2004.
And that'll do it. They will pump up the crowd and win the 2005 state championship.
Left side end zone touchdown.
And the celebration is on. Your 2008 state champions.
Thomas Roberson takes it 76 yards for a touchdown. Their second consecutive Class 6A championship.
Hands up, goes a lateral back to Weaver. He looks for put in the end zone. He's there. Touchdown!
For the U, a 3-peat.
There's the exclamation point. Union going for a 4th straight state championship.
It's hard to believe it's been since 2011. They were loaded, without a doubt.
Good evening and welcome to a new era of Union High School football.
Throws middle of the field. Now he's going to break around the corner.
Middle of the field, knocked down at the last minute.
It's intercepted on the other direction.
Oh, wow, what a hit.
Breaks free, he's going to score. Has pressure, going to go down.
He's stiff-armed.
Good evening and welcome to a new era of Union High School football.
Union fans, get on your feet and welcome your Union Redhawks.
And here come the Redhawks to kick off week 1. Old week 0, the 28-14 loss to Bentonville here at Union Tuttle. Union trying to get back on that winning track against Stillwater. Again, Dave Davis, Jeff Brown, Richard Johns, Jeff Johns here as well. And so, Coach, right before the intro video, we were talking about the offensive line. And I know the offensive line, 4 sacks last week, 3 of them on that final drive. What did you see from the offensive line that gives you hope going into today against a tough defense?
It's I'm telling you, it's a group of kids. They're all young. There's just one, maybe 2. Colin Anderson will get back as a senior, I believe, next week. So it gives them 2 seniors up front. The bunch of really, I know those kids really well. They're a bunch of really good kids. They're smart kids. Their first time really in live action together was just the last 2 weeks. They're going to grow and do a bunch of really good things. Their technique is improved so much from where they were probably a year ago, that group. The things that they're doing are really good, and how they're doing it is really good. Again, going against Bentonville, that's a tough test and not a true test to measure those kids, because in 10 weeks from now, we're going to be really, really good up front.
I think so too. In week one, again, a lot of positives to take away. Something that the Coach Graham has talked to us about is cleaning up the penalties. 15 penalties called on Union, 143 yards in penalties last week. But on the other side, again, it was the first game. Bentonville, 10 penalties and 100 yards last week. So a lot to clean up in a game that was 25 penalties. And, Coach, that's got to be tough, coaching a game like that. Just kind of the stop and go, 25 penalties, kind of no rhythm and flow.
If they're effort penalties, you can live with it. A couple of them were not effort penalties, but when they're effort penalties, all that stuff gets corrected. And here's the old adage too: the most improvement you're going to see is from week 1 to week 2. So we're going to look really good tonight compared to what we did last week, regardless of the outcome of the game.
I think so too. Stillwater will be kicking off. That's going to be Tay Perry and Stone Turner in the backfield, ready to receive that kickoff. The kickoff is going to be done by the kicker, Zach Gabbert, for the Pioneers. And here we go. Week 1 underway. Pioneers versus Redhawks. It's a low liar. Stone picks it up off the bounce. Going to get close to the 20. And now more still breaking tackles. And Stone continues to be a valuable asset, to say the least. Two kick returns,
just
34
missed a couple of guys right there on the pursuit, on the angle that they had. If we get them kind of sealed off, that's going to be an even bigger return.
It's incredible. On a 17-yard return, it always looks like it's going to be more for Stone Turner. He's so fast. He's so elusive. And like you said, even last week, Coach, just a couple plays away from breaking big ones, and you hope that those ones break today for us. Dylan Taylor is the quarterback with Tay Perry in the backfield. This is going to be an all-out rush. Tay Perry just gets back to the line of scrimmage. And again, that prowler defense, whatever you want to call it, coming at you hard there. And they brought the house on that one.
Yeah, that's a little tough right there. A little blitz. And again, you miss one guy right there, and they got to make a tackle. If they don't make that tackle, that's a really big gain. They have no secondary defenders there.
Nehemiah Cologne, you can't miss him. He's taking up a lot of your screen. Number 7 off of the right edge. He is going to BYU for Stillwater. He is a fantastic edge rusher and somebody we're going to have to deal with a lot. This play will be blown dead right off the jump. And let's hear what the referees have to say. Head ref Jeremy McCurley. It will remain second down, but that will go up 5 yards after the penalty that's called on Stillwater there. So now a 2nd and 5, a more manageable situation here for the Redhawks, as we are going to see what Union can do on their first drive. Last week it was 14-0 right off the jump by Bentonville. Union looking to get the jump early here, early in this game. It's going to be Dylan Taylor in the backfield.
Good. That'll slow them down a little bit. They're jumping in the neutral zone and trying to get us to move, and I'm telling you, number 7 for Stillwater is a good-looking linebacker, isn't he? Defensive end.
Nehemiah Cologne. I had the stats here. What do we got? 6'4", 260?
Yeah.
I'd believe that, wouldn't you?
Yep, he's a good-looking kid.
Played a little bit of fullback as well. You can expect that as this team on Stillwater going to try to get the running game going. Referees conferencing. Jeremy McCurley. Another penalty, 2nd in a row on Stillwater. This one will result in a first down, so there you go.
What this defense does do is it prevents you from pulling a lineman as well. Running power and those kinds of things makes it harder because it gives a run-through for them. So expect us to see a lot of zone and stretch probably up front early.
There we go.
Split zone action right there. You go.
Big
That's it.
Tay.
That's it.
Perry may go. Can they catch him? They
no, they
will
won't.
not. Goodbye. Tay Perry puts Union on the board, 7-0. A 60-yard rumble for Tay, and that's the way to get going, Coach.
Just
After
like
that 14-0 last week, this is how you start it.
Well, just like the very first run and play we had, if they don't make that leg tackle, that arm tackle with him, they have no secondary defenders. That blitz right there had no secondary defender, and once you make it through that line, we block the guys up front. There's no scraping linebackers or safeties. And that defense it's game ball, and they lost.
Special 2-point formation. Skylar Moorman in. He's going to throw left
Get in there.
to the slot receiver. Nice. Who is that? But the transfer from Colorado, Kane Brackney, number 4, his first touchdown in the state of Oklahoma. Now I should say 2-point conversion, pardon me. 2-point conversion. I'm getting a little excited here, but I bet the coaches were excited when Kane Brackney came over from the Denver suburbs.
He's
Boy,
a great
what a guy.
He's a great story. Him and his dad listened to a podcast that Coach Graham did back in the like March or April, and just fell in love with Coach Graham just listened to him and wanted to come play for him. And Kane Brackney is a throwback linebacker, fullback kind of kid, and I'm telling you, the ceiling on him is almost limitless.
It sure does look like it. That is a 2-play, 70-yard drive. Took a minute off the clock with 2 penalties on Stillwater, and that's critical here because, Coach, last week was our first game. This is Stillwater's first game. They did not play in week 0, so a lot of these first game jitters hoping to get it back, and boy, this replay looks even prettier as Tate Perry just wide open backfield, like you said.
Really good job by Amari on picking up the big defensive end right there, and then the only straight player they had actually slipped, and there was no chance that Tate's going to outrun them all.
And Marion Edison, one of those juniors you were talking about, 6'5", 295, the tackle.
And the biggest
70.
smile at school in the hallways, the biggest smile of that guy. Love seeing him walking in the halls.
In Marion Edison, Victor Vasquez, Bryson Duff, Manny Gonzalez, and Jordan Johnson, your starting offensive line, and we hope they'll be getting a lot of love tonight. Here's the kickoff by Gavin Litchfield. And as it falls off the tee, and this is also worth noting, you were down on the field, I was down on the field. It's windy down there, Coach.
I didn't wear enough clothing tonight. I'm glad I'm up here. It's chilly down there, and it feels like, we talked about, it feels like a Halloween night.
Yeah, it's about 70-some degrees at kickoff. Actually, in the 60s, more like 15-mile-an-hour north wind.
Good tackle.
Great cut-down tackle by Rion Williams, who, in fact, Rion, a wrestler, now 2.5 tackles, but he had a tackle and a half for loss last week, and it looked like, Rion started the year on the bench last year. This year, he's starting in that 3-4 formation. Tell us about what we're rolling out on defense this year with this
he's almost a third safety, hybrid outside linebacker position kind of player. Got some track speed, a little bit of wrestling stuff. He's really perfectly built for it. Just got to grow into it mentally a little bit, and he's going to be a really good player.
Marzette, Evans, Jaden Forbes, the down lineman. And the quarterback, it was a battle this year, and the quarterback will be Satank Tapto. He is a sophomore. In talking to the Stillwater News Press, Coach Kay Wood of the Stillwater Pioneers said, it's going to be whoever starts at quarterback this year for Stillwater, whether it be Satank Tapto or whether it be Ethan Evans, the senior, it'll be who can get the ball to their playmakers. Number 1, Deacon Jones, wide receiver. Number 2, David Thomas, and who can make plays consistently. And he's decided it's going to be Tapto, number 11.
He's also another good-looking young man, throws the ball really well in warm-ups down there, and we're going to have to do a really good job of tackling, and we kind of missed one just a little bit there.
Looks like that's going to be really close to a first down, if not a first down, for the running back for the Stillwater Pioneers. This is a young team, Coach, just remarkable. You're seeing juniors, sophomores all over the place for these Stillwater Pioneers. Look to be really set up for the future.
Yeah, they're in a good position. They've just been traditionally been good last couple, 3 years and built upon that, and it creates a culture there, and they've done a good job.
2 penalties already. This will be penalty number 3 called in the game.
And so what you notice with the penalties so far that are against Stillwater, this is their first live action. They scrimmaged last week, did not play a game. So they're going to have penalties where we're going to have fewer just because of the growth from the game to last week to tonight.
Right. And, Stillwater, they've been to 3 state title games since 2019, but these guys haven't. There's a lot of freshmen, sophomore, junior, young team.
Oh, and then we give them 5 back right there. But that's our big young nose guard. He's a sophomore. Terrence is a sophomore. Talented. Again, ceiling is really high for big Terrence, too.
Jerry, remember Curley, the referee, on the call, and yes, that'll be offside. So again, 5 back, just like Coach said, back to the original line of scrimmage, which sits at the 36-yard line for the Stillwater Pioneers, kind of starting in fits and starts after the Union offense looked great, just needed 2 plays to get into the end zone, and it is still Satank Tapto out there. We don't know if it's going to be a timeshare between Tapto and Evans, the 2 quarterbacks, or if it will be all Tapto tonight. We will have to see what Coach Kay Wood decides, but we know that the receivers
good fit right there
are big time. Jaden Evans, Jaden Adams on that run, and Tucker Cook on the stop. A little quiet last week. Tucker just 3.5 tackles, but he's all over the place.
He's actually right here because the 3-4 allows. He's our best pass rusher, our best edge player, most physical edge player. The 3-4 defense allows him to play a 5 technique defensive end or to play in space, and he did a good job on the counter right there. 2 guys in front of him pulled, and he moves right in. And we shifted our defensive line right there, caused them to jump off sides. You can steal. Tucker made the call right there to move the defensive line. He's still in charge as a linebacker.
On the offense.
Another penalty. That's number 4 by my count for the Stillwater Pioneers already. Of all the 5-yard variety, and like you said, these aren't the safety penalties. These are just those jitters, that first game penalty.
That's first game for those guys up front.
It is now 2nd and 15. Union up 8-0 after the Skylar Moorman 2-point conversion pass to Kane Brackney, the fullback and linebacker. Tapto out to the right. That's going to be incomplete, and that's going to be a rare miss by David Thomas. He's a sophomore, started as a freshman in this game last year at Stillwater, had a phenomenal game. He's now a sophomore. He's up to 6 foot now. I don't think he was that tall last year. And he's pairing up at number 1, Deacon Jones. So Deacon Jones and David Thomas, these are the two, maybe two of the better wide receivers in the state preseason.
Both his passes, first 2 passes have been high, so he's unsettled, and by that maybe from not enough reps either. They're splitting time with both quarterbacks in practice, so they've got to get some timing down with themselves.
2 out wide right, 1 out wide left. Tapto has to grab it with one hand, now lets it rip. That is going to be a completion, but it will be short of a first down. The refs call it complete at about the 44-yard line. David Thomas on the catch. This will bring up a 4th down decision. Not necessarily going to punt here, Coach.
I don't think so either. I think they're going to go for this right here.
It's so close to the midfield mark. They're trying to get their feet under them. Again, not a district game for either team. Maybe you feel like you can take some risk. It's not going to count before or against, no matter the result.
The quarterback had subbed out. They're going to bring in the big defensive end. He's going to try to run it ball, looks like.
So this is going to be Nehemiah Cologne going to BYU next year, big number 7. And now Coach Cawood going to take a timeout.
Stillwater did not have the personnel they wanted. They knew what they wanted to do. They took the quarterback off the field, but the defensive end, big number 7, wasn't in there to get in there.
You know, you think, Coach, that Stillwater would settle down. Obviously, very experienced coach on the sideline, very experienced coaching staff, but this is where you just feel like Union has to strike right now and get him in an even bigger hole if they can.
Well, here we go. Coming out of a timeout right here, you're going to get 1 or 2 things. They're going to try to make us jump off sides, or they're going to run a play that you're just not ready for. It could be something really unique and a trick-style play right here, too.
We'll be right back with the completion of this play in just a moment.
Tonight's game is being streamed live at unionsportsnetwork.com. Watch the replay anytime. And watch other Union Varsity sports on demand at unionsportsnetwork.com.
Number 7.
To see what will happen. Nehemiah Cologne coming back out on the field. 4th and 2 at the 44 in their own territory. Stillwater looking like they might go for it, but like Coach Brown said, we will see what happens. Lining up into formation, could punt, could go for it, we'll see. Back to receive the ball on the snap, and this is going to be called dead.
Oh, let's decline it. We can't decline it. It's high school, but we wish it
Prior
could.
to the snap,
That's going to cause him to punt.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Penalty number 5 on Stillwater, and that was Bradford Mitchell, number 8, taking the ball, trying to run it up the gut. And Coach, like you said, can't decline it. You would have loved to there. Plus territory.
Decline that one, absolutely.
Those are the rules, as they say. So 4th and 7 now. This will look like it'll be a punt. And the punter for Stillwater, again, they're wearing the yellow on white uniform. So pardon me if I do get some of these numbers incorrect, but it is difficult to see. This punter looked like it could be either Dean Fix, who can really run. He's a wide receiver, or the backup quarterback, Braden Pratt.
Just missed it.
Gets home.
Great punt, too.
I couldn't see his number, but I know his number now. That is a punt all the way back, rolling inside the 1. Will it make it? Yes, touchback.
Really good punt. Really good job by him getting the ball off. Is that number 10?
That is number 18. So that is the third string quarterback, Braden Pratt, who just hit a 61-yarder. And this is what we're talking about, Coach. Stillwater Pioneers, why have they made it to the state championship game 3 times since 2019? Won it in 2022. It just seems like they reload.
They've got some quality players. It's a quality program, and they're not reloading every year. They're rebuilding. They're not rebuilding. They're reloading with kids, and they're bought into the program, what they're doing. You can tell by the defense. The kids know what they're doing. They just got to make their plays too.
Dylan Taylor now in the backfield with, that's going to be Tate Perry, gets caught in the backfield on a good rush there. They sniffed it out, and that's going to be number 7 again. Nehemiah Cologne on the tackle. Last week, Union had trouble with number 2 on Bentonville, Cameron Thornton Mead, a college commit who just got in the backfield a lot and had a lot of tackles. So Nehemiah presents his own set of challenges out there for Amarion.
Again, we tried to run a little counter right there. I just think that's going to be hard against this style defense to try to pull linemen tonight.
5 up on the line, jumping into the neutral zone a little too far, and you could tell right away he knew it. Number 5, Bryson Brown.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense, 5-yard penalty. Remain second down.
That'll be penalty number 6 by my count on Stillwater. And again, that first season jitter, but all of these are just those encroachment and jumping and just kind of waiting to get out there.
Wouldn't want to play Stillwater in about 8 more weeks. I'd rather play them tonight.
It'll be a different team for sure, you'd think. 2nd and 7 now on Union's 23. Dylan Taylor has seen most of the action, although Skylar Mormon did get in there on that 2-point conversion. Now 3 outright. The motion, the fake handoff, and that will then be an incomplete pass, a little low to Tay Perry. Not sure how far he would have gotten. It just kind of grounded it there. Jamison Ringleb coming out, and now Tucker Cook, which Coach had said we would see Tucker on offense. We've already seen Kane Brackney on offense. Tucker Cook at linebacker out there on offense now, so we'll see if he's in as a fullback or what have you here with 7:56 left to go in this first period. Union up early, 8-0. 5 wide receivers out. Dylan Taylor has 2 to his left, 3 to his right. That is caught on the go by Tay Perry, and there he goes again. Get him in space. You never know what's going to happen. Tay Perry at the 45, at the 50, cut down out of bounds in Stillwater territory. And Tay Perry already up to 90 total yards, and we're just getting started. This is a great sign.
I really like this call right here, too. All their blitzers are behind the ball after it's thrown. And just, if you block 2 people, Tay can make 1 miss. And he's going to get a lot of that work afterwards on his own. But that's a really good job. Good block there by Stone as well. You said it was Tucker Cook on offense. That's actually Jordan Avington came in at receiver there. We got double numbers on some kids, and want to give Jordan some love too.
Yeah, absolutely. Avington, number 22, coming in now. It looks like it's Dylan Taylor back there with possibly L.J. McGee, running back number 2. Hard to see from yes, that is L.J. McGee. You're correct, Coach. 3 receivers out left, so now RB2 coming in to give Tay Perry a blow, and here goes L.J. Boy, doesn't he just look great as a runner?
He's a physical runner. He runs the inside running plays like that really, really. He runs downhill and runs behind his pads.
9 yards on that one. So Tay and LJ both got roughly the same carries. Tay got 12. LJ got 8 carries last week, but they both had 48, and LJ did it in 8 carries. So when you're kind of averaging that 5-yard, 6-yard a carry, you know you're gonna not keep you off the field.
Our best run play so far is split zone. Tight end comes back across. Everybody just zone blocks up front, and the same play right here. They had a chance too.
This is going to be an out pass to Stone Turner, who had a fantastic game last week. Looked like he went out of bounds right there at the 27. That's where they're going to call him out at the 28, coming off of a 7-catch, 80-yard performance with 2 touchdowns last week. Stone Turner has been absolutely phenomenal. Jeff, I don't know if you can see us. What are you seeing?
Yeah, guys, this really comes it's hard to see just exactly how good Stone is at feeling the pressure, turning outside instead of inside, and getting extra yards instead of getting tackled for loss.
Great point. Pat Thompson out right, Stone out left, and it's going to be LJ in the backfield in the running back position, and there he goes. This is going to be another very close to first down. Mouth guard comes out for somebody as Lucas Limon, a returning starter, 9-game starter from last year, makes the tackle for Stillwater, but now we're just getting that 8-9 yards a pop here, Coach.
It's just if you just keep it against this style of defense, you can't run counters and powers. We're just running zone right there. We're actually in a 12-personnel offensive line look, and nobody really knows it because we've got an extra offensive lineman out there. But it's just simple zone stuff up front, and it increases. They don't have scraping linebackers.
This is going to be Skylar Mormon in at quarterback, and he puts it on the ground. LJ fumbled it. Did not have a fumble last year in limited action. This will be his first one of the year. And now, as you're driving at the 19-yard line, you cough it up, and Stillwater has some life here.
I think the exchange might have been not real smooth, but I also think maybe one of their guys stuck an arm in there. Let's see if we can catch it on the replay possibly.
Because of all of the physicality and everybody flying around and mouth guards already flying off, you know, yes, they're nervous. Yes, there's been a lot of penalties, but Stillwater, a huge 50-yarder last week to Dewberry that really flipped that game in the second half. Mormon going to hand off on a delay to Tay Perry, busts up the middle for another first down. Tay Perry continues to roll. Over 100 total yards by my count for Tay so far, or if not very close.
Very close.
And Tay, 48 yards last week, just 1 reception last week. They're not doing the running back passes here. We're just running right at
That's
them.
pretty good surge up front by the right side of the offensive line, and backside guy kind of tripped up Tay. That been for more. Again, zone play up front.
98 yards for Tay Perry total in this game so far. Skyler drops back, throws out to his left. Boy, you're not going to see that much. Stone Turner is trying to do kind of looks like his trademark grab and turn, just left it behind.
Just a little early. You got to catch it first.
I think I've maybe seen him drop it once, and that
I know that's everybody says I'll catch the ball, and until you're out there doing it live, it's not as easy as it looks.
Because he knows the speed and talent that he has. Jackson
Yes.
McCrary coming in, number 17 on the left side. A transfer from Victory Christian, had a couple catches, got his feet wet last week in 6A1 ball. This is going to be Dylan Taylor, flushed out to the right, throws it on the run, hit immediately. That would be dropped by Pat Thompson. It was on the money, but boy, Stillwater also on the money, and a great wrap up there by number 21, Caden Johnson.
Yeah, had a little pressure again from Nehemiah there, and again, that's another throw and catch that you'd like to have back.
And guys, you're seeing 7, 8 guys and sometimes 9 guys in the box. Obviously, Union taking advantage of that, going outside wherever possible because there's so much pressure right there up front, and they've got the guys to make them miss.
And it makes it hard to throw a downfield pass when you got
45, Union trying to move the sticks and add to this 8-0 lead. Dylan Taylor, pressure coming again, escapes, but no. He will be sacked. Looked like he might got out, but there is a flag. We've already had 6 in this game. We will see what happens here as the referees tonight. Jeremy McCurley, Tyler Montgomery, Rob Gully, Jimmy Williams, and Andy Bruner, the referees. This is Jeremy McCurley.
This looks like it might be against Stillwater.
Personal foul.
Face mask.
Face mask on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot results in a first down.
We slid our protection away from the blitzer right there, and not by any design or mistake, and they brought one more than we could block, and that was going to be tough for Dylan to get away from.
A week after Union committed 15 penalties in the game, Stillwater has committed 7 penalties, and we are still in the first quarter. Some of those have been the 15-yard variety, and that one results in a first down. Now, in Stillwater territory are the Union Redhawks, 3 out left, and Tay Perry in the backfield. McCrary, Thompson, Turner out left. Dylan calls for the ball. This is up the middle again, making men miss, and what could have been backwards, Tay goes forward.
But again, I would get ready to say, let's go back to running the inside split zone play right there. Pull the tight end across, kick back, blend zone, and get 3 or 4 yards. And they're going to blitz, and we're going to crease it again here. If we'll just be patient and stay with it.
What's been good, too, is to see Jamison Ringlet, number 30, really come into his own. He is a critical part of the 7-man front that we're running, and Union really needs him.
A lot like his brother Bennett, who played offensive line for us a couple years ago. A really good kid, works his butt off in the weight room, and really proud of all the things that he's done and getting his opportunity to shine out here, too.
Another penalty. Here we go. Jeremy McCurley, the star of the game so far.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty.
I know we're not going to see Stillwater the rest of the year, but I bet they don't have this many penalties next week.
Yeah, you don't make it to 3 state titles in 6 years. It's just the first game, and it's just happening. And they're clear penalties. I mean, there's really no question. The encroachment, I mean, we're not in any criticism. They are just what they are.
Yes.
But 2nd and 3 now at the 33 as Union continues to advance both on the ground and penalty yards. Skylar Moorman remains in the game at quarterback, splitting time with Dylan Taylor. Tay Perry, no, it's going to be Skylar keeping it. Boy, he runs with that head.
£200 at least, and he runs behind his pads too, and that play he either gives it to Tay or he
8 for Stillwater. He is just he's one of the ones that's getting called pretty often for that offside. He's lining up, probably just an unawareness of where exactly he is because he's in that neutral zone a lot.
Stillwater starts down on their defense. Now this is an outlet pass to Stone Turner. Did he have possession? What will they rule it? Will it be the 2nd fumble in a row? No, it will be incomplete.
No, I think it was a catch and he fumbled. I think he got it back.
Okay. There you go,
he
Coach.
recovered his own fumble, I think.
Good keeping an eye out, and they did advance the ball, so that will be a catch, apparently a fumble, and a recovery by Stone Turner. Great hands. And again, you can talk about a potential disastrous 2nd fumble in a row.
Yes.
Great
and
awareness.
again, we're moving the ball here again, and they see what happens here with us up front. Like see another split
are the Red Hawks. Still 3 minutes left. This first quarter has just crawled by, obviously with all the penalties. This game is just moving very slowly, and Union is dominating unquestionably. As you have a handoff out to the left side for Tay Perry, bounced it outside. Looks like he didn't get anything on that one. Maybe a yard, setting up a 3rd and 7.
Any penetration will kill the zone play there, and so you got some penetration, and it just that kind of wrecked us. But we actually fell forward for a yard, believe it or not.
There you go. Avington checking in for Ringlib, and it looks like Dylan Taylor coming in at quarterback. And what I liked about last week too, Coach, is we put Skylar Mormon in really important situations just like that. You know, put him on the goal line last week. Let's see what you can do. And now it's Dylan.
Yep. I think the trust factor with both those kids is they like both of them. They both bring advantages to our offense and to our team.
There he goes. Another catch by Stone Turner. He hasn't had a lot of yards, but Stone Turner has touched the ball a lot tonight. He goes backwards on this one. But from what I've seen from our field goal unit, and we will see what Coach calls here if we go for it, but what I've seen from our field goal unit, Litchfield's good from 35. I mean, I can see something.
Again, you got to be down there, and maybe Jeff can tell us down there. The wind down there, I don't know if the 40-yard field goal turns into a 50-yard field goal because of the wind.
I would say absolutely so, Coach. It is. I mean, it's coming pretty hard, especially once you get the ball up into the air.
Yeah.
And it is right in their face right now.
They will go for it against a strong north wind. 4th and 11 at the 25. Dylan Taylor in the backfield in shotgun. Now rolling out right. He's going to be chased. There's going to be a penalty flag down. Throws on the run to a man. Almost picked off by Stillwater. But the flag, we shall see.
Probably a holding call. It's probably our first one.
It'll be declined is what the referee, Jeremy McCurley, is indicating.
Holding on the offense. That penalty is declined. The ball will be turned over on downs.
You know, that's a tough one there, Coach. You know, up 8-0. You'd love to make it that 11-0 game with a field goal, but gosh, a 15-mile-an-hour north wind, that's just a lot to ask of anyone.
If we're going into the south end zone, I think that's an easy call to kick it.
So Stillwater takes over. This will be their 3rd drive of the game. The previous 2 have come up fruitless as the Union defense has bent even a little bit, but mostly they've just been extremely solid. It looks like Taptoe is back. Again, a high snap. Again, Tucker Cook almost gets to it. On the incompletion, we're getting in the backfield, Coach, and that was almost a tip.
Tucker's our best pass rusher for sure, and we're taking advantage of that. And he's plays with a ton of confidence, and we'll let him throw those passes out to the flats because they're not been too successful with them right now.
They've really tried to throw those go routes, those seam routes down the field to number 1 and number 2, David Thomas. So far, the quarterback, 2 of 9 is Taptoe. This is going to be a run. Bounced at the outside by Jaden Adams, and he will get a good chunk of yardage. One of the first, probably the second first down of this game, as Jaden Adams has now run out there to the 39-yard line for Stillwater on a nice little run, and Jaden Adams getting involved.
Yeah, center move for him right there. That's going to give us 5 yards back.
Prior to the snap,
they call on the field.
Illegal snap on the center. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Called an illegal snap, but either way, you know, we're going back 5 yards. That's now 9 penalties in the first quarter for Stillwater. We still have 1:08 left to go in this quarter, and it's now turning into a situation for Stillwater. Just they go forward 1 step, back 2 steps, and our defense is a part of it.
They moved in again too. Their lack of playing last week, and we're doing some stuff up front that is making them uncomfortable. And it's traditional stuff that we're doing. It's not the non-traditional defense that they run.
Penalty, remains 2nd down.
So, Coach, being on the defensive side of the ball, you know, you just got to be so pleased with what you're seeing from this Union team. And again, the things pre-snap, making them move, it just seems like they're doing all of it right.
You can just tell our body language. Our kids look a lot better than we did last week defensively, and the confidence is what you can really see from our guys, and I like to see that.
Satank Taptoe, the true sophomore, 52 seconds left in this first quarter as the clock continues to run on a 1st and 20 for Stillwater. 8-0 Union after a spectacular touchdown drive and 2-point. This is going to be a big one. This will be a big run for Jaden Adams, someone that you thought they would use going into this game. Only had 425 yards last year rushing, but 5 touchdowns. That's going to be a 21-yard rumble, good enough for a first down, had 5 touchdowns, and Jaden Adams, also a state champion wrestler.
We gambled there with the blitz and missed a fit, and you blitz and you miss a fit, and you don't have a straight player or a safety in position, and it's going to be a decent run if you miss that first initial tackle.
Another flag.
Start on the offense.
You know, I talked about having our kids having some confidence and stuff, and I know that comes from practice from Monday through Thursday and the coaches that we had down there on the sideline. That's where that confidence comes from, because after a loss, you know, the kids are going to be down on themselves as it is, but the coaches just brought them back and poured that confidence back into these guys, and they're showing it tonight.
1st and 15, penalty number 11. Still looked like there was movement to me, not called. Jaden Adams now busting up. Would have been a first down. In this case, it's going to be right between the sticks, and that should, we will see, take us to the end of a very long 40-minute first quarter. They're going to try to get the snap off. And no, that is the end of the first quarter. Hits top toe in the head. 8-0 Union leading Stillwater. We will be right back. Union Sports Network.
Union fans, please turn your attention to the south end of the field for tonight's TPCU Federal Credit Union teacher of the game, Mr. Dalton Coyle. A proud Union lifer, a member of the class of 2012, Mr. Coyle has been teaching at Union Public Schools for the past 4 years. After starting with Aspire and teaching in 6th grade, Mr. Coyle now teaches at the high school, where he is also a sponsor with Leadership, the Hawk Squad, and Union Lacrosse. As a former czar of the TV crew, Mr. Coyle brings energy, tradition, and school pride into every role, continuing a lifelong commitment to the Union community. Tonight, Amanda Flaherty, TPCU Cares Foundation Director, Union alumni, and Union parent, is presenting Mr. Coyle with a $100 gift card from TPCU Federal Credit Union in appreciation for all he does for Union Public Schools. Thank you, TPCU Federal Credit Union.
We are back here for the start of the second quarter. Jeff Johns down on the field. And Jeff, if you can hear me, what are we saying in the huddle going into the second quarter?
Yeah, guys, it's an intensity on the defensive sideline that I haven't seen in years past, and it really generates a lot of it from corner coach Darnell Walker, who, we were talking before the game, used to play for the San Francisco 49ers and the Atlanta Falcons alongside Neon Deion Sanders. He has what probably at one point in time was white hat that has yellowed over the summer practices, and he has written, Sharpied, DNA right on the front of it, and you're hearing chants on the sidelines of D up. They are loud. The entire team gets into it. It's very intense down here.
You love to hear that, Coach, don't you?
He's a high-energy guy and poured into those kids, and the kids just really soak up every word he says.
It looks like the kids have responded to Coach Graham as well. Just, you can go different ways after the loss like that. And showing me, in halftime as the first down is made there by Stillwater. At halftime, down 14-7, everybody's jumping and running into the locker room. It just seems like the energy has been really up this year. Taptoe drops back, and this is going to be to one of his favorite receivers, number 1, Deacon Jones, the junior, who Coach Kaywood, in an interview with the Stillwater News Press, called one of the best wide receivers in the state. And after having 2 touchdowns against Union, including a 47-yarder last year, you can see why number 1
there's
special.
No doubt. I agree with that statement for sure.
I think we also have one in Stone Turner. He has been phenomenal this year so far. This is going to be a delayed handoff to Jaden Adams again, and now you're starting to see 11 penalties in the first quarter. Jaden Adams kind of switching tack here. Okay, maybe not wide receivers, running back.
They're running an insert play with the tight end blocking up inside, kind of like a power play, and we're a guy short right now. And here it comes again.
This is going to be Jaden Adams bouncing it out to the left side, but going nowhere. Logan Haney in on that tackle, along with Brandon Ferguson and Logan Rowe. Logan Haney, the leading tackler for Union last week. 6 tackles, had a half of a tackle for loss, but this changing up the defensive line. Now we got Cozart and Ferguson and Rowe.
So no matter who the safety is in the box for us, whether it's Ian or it's Dejan, we've got to follow the tight end when he inserts and be the extra player like right here. And now they throw the RPO out of it. Good tackle by Dejan.
Has struggled with that pass. He completes it now, throwing again east to west against a north wind. That is a pass that's complete out there, but a great tackle, as you just mentioned, by Dejan Gaines, one of the team captains, flying in.
This is a big play right here. Third down's important on this one.
3rd and 4, and again, if Stillwater chooses, well, we'll just see what happens here. 3rd and 4, we'll get to that in a minute. In the red zone, Stillwater maybe looking for a neutral zone on Union there. You kind of saw a reaction.
It was close. It was close.
3rd and 4, Taptoe calling for it. He's going to hand it off to Jaden Adams. That will be good for a first down and more. Got past that first level, takes it up to the 5-yard line, and Stillwater moving the ball now, down 8 early in the second quarter.
They found a crease in the bubble of our defense right there, and we're just a guy short.
Again to Jaden Adams, again running forward, pushing our guys, and Union pushes back, keeping him out of the end zone. Ball does come out at the very end, but they are going to rule him down, of course, and this is going to be a 2nd and goal situation for Stillwater. This could be a big moment if Union can pull out a stop here. Boy.
I'm going to see a little bit more of the same for them. I don't know if I'd stop doing what they're doing right now until we can find an answer.
3-yard line is where the Pioneers are right now. Again with Taptoe this time. Keeps it, and boy, the rope-a-dope by Stillwater. Taptoe on the read runs it into the end zone on the left side. 8-6, Stillwater within 2.
Yeah, that was a good move on the zone read. We had all our eyes on the running back that whole drive, and that was a good call.
You wonder sometimes with the quarterback battles, it was a senior for Stillwater. Ethan Evans could have had the job. It was a Tank Taptoe, the sophomore for Stillwater. Taptoe gets the job, and maybe that's one of the reasons why. Just a lot of intelligence there.
Yeah, and as he settles down, it could get better for him.
The kick is good. An extra point by Kyle Gabbert. Bangs to the upright, but there is another flag.
They're going to get a running into the kicker, roughing the kicker, and they'll put that on the kickoff.
It'll be Zach Gabbert, the kicker. Check that. This is the referee on the call.
We're going to running into the kicker. Be half the distance penalty. We'll retry.
A retry. They're going to do a half the distance penalty on a running into the kicker as opposed to roughing.
They're going to go for 2 now.
So now that will put them at about the 1.5-yard line. We'll see where the referee crew spots it. Again, McCurley, Montgomery, Gully, Williams, Bruner. And yes, it will be spotted right at about the 1.5-yard line. Union goes for 2 on their first touchdown, and now Stillwater appears to be doing the same to try to draw this score even in this early season Week 1 matchup. Again, 2nd game of the season for Union. This is the 1st game of the season for Stillwater, and after 11 penalties in the first quarter alone for Stillwater, Coach, Stillwater, as you mentioned, getting better throughout the game, cleaning it up, and this is a different team.
Yep, they're a little bit better team than they were in the first quarter. But we have to make an adjustment to the run play that they're running, and I know Coach Foster, when he gets these guys over and gets a chance to look at it himself, he will. This is a big play right here.
Taptoe in the backfield with Jaden Adams, his running back. We'll see what this 2-point conversion is. Union gets penetration.
Pretty good penetration there by us. Nice job.
I didn't see, Coach. Was that Haney? It looked like maybe Forbes was in there.
I think it was Jaden Forbes and probably Logan Haney and just about everybody up front. Pretty good penetration, and we weren't on our heels right there. We got after the football a little bit right there. That's a big difference. It's a huge play.
It looks like we got a jump on it for sure.
Did.
And you're talking about when you're coaching these guys and trying to teach them to get a jump off the ball. What's the best way to communicate that, to try to just jump it?
You got to watch the guy in front of you. He flinches, you move. And I always say this too, and a lot of people are going to laugh at me here, but do you want a horse, you got to pull the reins on, or a horse you got to spur. So if a kid jumps off in practice, you let him jump off sides in practice, and when you come out here in a game, you don't say a word to him, and then get after the football like that there, and you just encourage that kind of stuff. And that showed up on that. The previous plays before, we weren't that aggressive up front, and after the timeout and recovered after the penalty, they just got after the football and a lot of good penetration up front.
Looks like Terrence Evans, trying to get all the credit there, but Kane Brackney in on that. Terrence Evans in there, the true sophomore who didn't start last year but ended up starting. He didn't start the season, I should say, but Terrence Evans as a freshman, 350-pound freshman, works his way in.
Reminds me of Demarion Thomas that played for me here a couple years ago, who now starts and plays for Oklahoma State at nose guard.
Yeah. Jeff Johns, what do you got?
Yeah, you guys are absolutely right. Logan Haney was at the very, very bottom, so he was the first man in there. Logan's not a huge guy, but he's always really good at getting in early and holding, and he does not let go once he gets a hold of you. And Terrence Evans, for those of you watching at home who have never seen him up close, don't adjust your TV set. He is that big in person. I would hate to see how much he cleans up in the next 2 years, because that kid is already a giant.
Yeah, like I said, he reminds me of Demarion Thomas that went to Vanderbilt, who's at OSU right now. Reminds me a lot of him.
6'3", 355 for the nose tackle, true sophomore. Obviously, everyone's a true sophomore in high school, but Terrence Evans, the sophomore, 355 pounds. And as you continue to see how he progresses, that will be exciting. So it looks like Gabbert's lining up for an onside kick. We'll see what Stillwater chooses to do. It'll be a pooch off to the right.
We better get on the ball. It's a free ball, and they got it. We weren't ready for that short onside kick there.
Boy, that sure did cross 10 yards, and you got to be on it.
Somebody's got to go catch that.
Goodness.
Doesn't matter. Anybody can catch that. We got to go fair catch that. Wave your hand and catch it. Anybody.
Heck of a kick by Gabbert, exactly where it needed to be kicked, and you could tell we were just confused on that play. Yep. So Stillwater gets a freebie at our 43-yard line, down 2.
Now you got to expect the ball to go to number 1 or number 2 right here on a quick shot.
Big play maybe upcoming, as we saw Deacon Jones, number 1, the wide receiver, had 2 big touchdowns against Union.
And that also doesn't give us much time to adjust to what they did running the ball that last drive. We don't get enough time to sit down right here and talk about it. So they got us on our heels now.
Stillwater ready to pour it on if they can. Union trying to stop it, and Jaden Adams, who is an individual state champion and wrestler, looking like Tay on these last couple runs. It looks like Castellanos was on the bottom of the pile, but again, picking up 5 yards a carry at least here in the second quarter. Jaden Adams continues to roll for the Pioneers, picked up 6 there. 9:14 clock's running. Union up by 2 after stopping the 2-point conversion, then giving up an onside kick. This is a big stop for a third down, and I couldn't see who got in there, but it was one of the big guys.
That's one of Amarion. It looks like a big Amarion Edison's playing a little D-line right there. Number 70, our left tackle. He's playing some defensive line tonight.
That's good to see, because Coach Graham talked to us before the season, said, hey, there's a lot of offensive linemen who are going to play both sides. Yep. Amarion was one of those guys, and that's why.
He's an athletic big kid.
Taptoe, 3rd and 3 at the 36. Here comes the run, blown up in the backfield. That's going nowhere. A big decision. Do you go for it on Stillwater, continue the momentum, or give it to this punter who's the 3rd-string quarterback who's just booming 60-yarders? Maybe he can do coffin corners too. They have a good punter, and that's really nice to be able to have those options if you're Stillwater.
Sure does. I think going against the wind, they're probably going to try to draw us off sides here and see what happens.
4th and 6. Stillwater needs 6 for the first down. Union needs 6 to not go.
They're going to call timeout.
Stillwater has 2 timeouts left, and they will now go down to 1 timeout as Coach K. Wood pops the timeout. It's 8-6. We're going to step away for just a moment. Keep it right here. Union Sports Network.
This timeout is sponsored by Black Bear Diner. Discover the luxury of driving with Grubbs Acura Tulsa. Experience cutting-edge technology, exceptional comfort, and unparalleled performance in every Acura vehicle. Visit us today at Grubbs Acura Tulsa, where your dream car awaits. Drive luxury. Drive Grubbs Acura. Proud to be a premier sponsor of Union Athletics. As a reminder, Union Tuttle Stadium has implemented safety guidelines, including quarterback policy, as well as no re-entry for all patrons. Safety is everyone's responsibility. If you see anything suspicious or out of the ordinary, please notify a security officer or an administrator.
Big 4th down play coming up for Stillwater. Jeff, what were you hearing in the huddle? Jeff Johns be with us in a second.
Yeah, guys. Coach Foster was in the huddle saying, you got to get your pad level down. You have to get after them here. We have to get pressure on them. We cannot let them get past us right here. Hold the line.
That 3rd and 3 looked pretty good in the previous play. Drove back Jaden Adams 3 yards. You hope to see that again if you're a Red Hawk. Ball on the 39, 4th and 6. A huge play. Will Stillwater make Union pay for a botched onside kick? We will see right here. Union did not pay for the previous fumble. We'll see what happens. Taptoe looking left all the way for his receiver, and that's caught. Oh, a game breaker. An absolute game breaker to Deacon Jones. You kind of sniffed it out up here, Richard. Jeff,
yeah.
You sniffed it out, saw him out wide left.
It's a really good route, too, and they had us kind of singled up and just didn't cover it well enough.
Brandon Ferguson checking in for Terrence Evans. Now fresh set of downs at the 16. So again, a red zone trip for the Stillwater Pioneers. They scored last time. This will be a handoff to the left again. Jaden Adams, who is an individual champion state wrestler, a 5'7", 170-pound guy who obviously has been tough to bring down. And they're running, like you said, a really good run scheme, it looks like.
They are, and if we don't get any penetration early right here, they're going to have some success with that.
Marzette and Ferguson down on the defensive line. This is going to be another handoff to Adams, and that is going to be Marzette and Ferguson both on the bottom of the pile. Looks like Jaden Forbes in there on the tackle.
And Brandon Ferguson coming off blocks, and that's what you got to do after the initial surge. You got to get off a block.
3rd and 4, obviously plenty of half to go. Only about halfway through this first half, as it is now going on an hour, and we're 7 minutes left.
We just haven't had the ball enough this quarter.
It's been a total flip. Stillwater has eliminated all of their penalties, 11 in the first quarter. I think they have 0 this quarter and are absolutely moving the ball and looking like a state championship contender. That they are. Satang Tempto takes the snap, rolling out right, has a man wide open, and that's going to be
Touchdown.
a walk. Walking into the end zone for the Stillwater Pioneers on that one. Looks like it's going to be Bradford Mitchell, I believe. Again, these white on yellow numbers are difficult, but number 8 is what I'm seeing.
I think he's a defensive end for him as well. Played a little tight end right there, and just a boot power pass.
Touchdown, Stillwater. They're up by 4, 12-8, with Gabbert stepping in to knock this extra point through. Nothing is a given going against the north wind. Gabbert, the hold, and the kick is true. 13-8. Stillwater jumps on Union after an onside kick, and now, Coach, Nathan Foster, the defense, gets a chance to talk to his D. Hopefully this kickoff goes as planned.
Hopefully we get the ball back here and we get a chance to regroup and recover a little bit and make some adjustments to what they're doing, and we will.
It's just so tough. I mean, Coach, when you're talking about giving the defense no rest there, I mean, just back-to-back, you're sending them right back out, not putting it in the offense's hands. Like you said, Coach Foster didn't have a chance to talk to him, but he did in that huddle, and we'll see what goes from here, but 13-8.
And he'll get a chance. We have video replay on the sideline. We have a system, and he'll get a chance to watch those things and make some adjustments with his coaches too. And again, I'll give Stillwater, that's credit to our guys too. They're not going to kick the ball to our skill kids and let them have a chance to have a run back. And they took a gamble there on the onside kick, and it paid off for them.
So Stone Turner is the up man on special teams. It is Dallas Maxey and Tay Perry back deep, obviously wondering if they're going to try it again. They're kind of lining like it could be a pooch or an onside. So Stone Turner, a hands guy, is up much closer to the line with Maxey and Tay Perry back deep on this kickoff.
I think if you look at all of our guys here, that's our hands team completely. There's not a lineman, linebacker type of wall. There's a whole bunch of skill kids out there for us. Guys that can catch a football here.
The kickoff, Gabbard going to try his luck again. This one goes way deep, and it will be 2 guys fighting for the ball, and Dallas Maxey
we are still not on it.
Doesn't have it. We still don't have it. Dejon Gaines bounced around, and it is Union's ball. Jeremy McCurley jumping in as the referee to signal Union. Boy, dodging a bullet there.
And I think Stone Turner came back from where he was and fell on that football right there. And you just tell guys, you don't ever go backwards to catch a kickoff right there, and Dejon should have let that go and let somebody else catch it.
It was Tay and Dejon and Dallas Maxey all there, and Stillwater as well. And this Stillwater team, they're getting down the field. I mean, this special teams unit for Stillwater is really good.
We're going to be all right. Let's get us a drive right here.
6:46 left in this first half as Skylar Mormon takes the field with L.J. McGee in the backfield. So Skylar Mormon and Dylan Taylor have had about even snaps. This is going to be a reverse to the track star. And there he goes, Dewberry. Thought he was going to break it there, Coach.
Yeah,
but a nice run.
I think if he reads his block a little bit better and doesn't try to make a move, put your foot in the ground and go north and south, he gets 10 more yards.
That's Brighton. Dewberry had a big 50-yard catch from Mormon, and you're kind of seeing some chemistry with different receivers and quarterbacks.
You see Coach Ulibarri down here telling him, too, the same thing. You put your foot in the ground, go north and south, and outrun those guys. Don't give them a chance to tackle you.
And Dewberry can. He's one of the fastest guys in the state in 6A1, came in 5th place in the 200 meters, and can run a 10.8. 100.
Yeah, that's pretty quick.
2nd and 7. The handoff goes to L.J. McGee. Has a fumble in the game. Other than that, he has had some solid runs, just have looked like that.
You want to compare that to Trey Brown. Trey Brown was a 10-6, 10-4, 100 guy, so
unbelievable.
That's pretty quick. 10-8's pretty good.
And we have track guys on our team historically.
Yes.
I mean, whether it be Jarek, whether it be Dejon, whether it be Devin Jordan. I mean,
yes, we
had a lot of great translation, because you never know how the track guys are going to translate, and we found a way, this Union staff, to make that happen. 3rd and 2 on the 32-yard line. This will be a handoff. No, Skyler going to keep it again.
First down.
I can't keep track of who's keeping the ball here. Skyler in Taptoe for that matter, but Skyler doing a great job of disguising there. Keeps the ball, goes out left, and that's a first down. Skyler coming in, doing his job, and now Dylan Taylor's up. You love to see this chemistry.
I think Skyler's got a helmet problem right there, but I'm telling you, they like the way Skyler runs the football. He's a senior, like the way he handles himself. He's a tougher. Like I said, he's a bigger kid than you think, and he ran the ball really well there.
That's right, Coach. Yeah, he had a helmet issue. He was just coming off the side. Coach Davis looking at it now. That was just a great read option. He read the edge rusher coming in on the running back, pulled it himself, and went outside.
Good read.
5 minutes, clock still running here in the second quarter. The end of the first half is approaching, and Union taking their time on this drive, giving the defense a breather and also getting the offense's sea legs under them. The defense has been on the field a lot in the second quarter, and it's nice on that run there by LJ. Get the offense, just keep them on the field.
You like the way LJ runs that ball right there, and behind his pads, he got 4 yards. Doesn't look like a whole lot, but that was a really good run.
Dylan Taylor back in at quarterback here, and it looks like he will have 3 guys out to his right, including Jordan Avington, who has had some time as the slot receiver. We'll see if Avington is a read here. The snap left goes to Tate Perry, a little bit high. Luckily, no one was there behind him for the interception, because everybody was rushing up, but Tate Perry had 2 hands on it, a little hot.
Yeah,
a little high on that one.
Little hot, little high, and they had some penetration on the smoke screen that we had set up there.
Dylan Taylor getting the ball out fast on this one, just not on target. So the 3rd and 6 as Union hopes to keep this drive going and regain the lead they've led for most of this game up until Stillwater taking that 13-8 lead here just a couple minutes ago. It is 13-8. Stillwater leading Union after a fantastic game last year, and this is immediate penetration, and Dylan Taylor, no shot on that one. Big time sack.
That's one of those exotic blitzes with 2 guys in the same gap, and we couldn't pick it up, and biggest chance to throw the ball.
Bryson Brown, looking like number 5, was leading the charge there for the Pioneers. This looks to be a punt, something that, Stone Turner has been asked to do a lot this year. He had 2 punts last week for 48 yards, and Stone Turner out there to punt the ball, going with the wind, though. This is good there. 3:46. Clock continues to roll, and the 2 speedsters, Thomas and Jones, back to receive the punt. 2 punt returners.
Stillwater, their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
They're going to try to set up a block right here.
So that will be the final timeout for Stillwater. They will get the ball back, we assume, with 3:42 left on the clock, assuming nothing happens here on the punt. So Coach from the defense had some time. Coach Foster has had some time with the defense now. What are you telling him going out?
I think it's a fit issue with the tight end insert into the zone that they're running. The tight end becomes a fullback when he inserts on the zone. They're turning out with the 1 tackle and zone blocking with the other guys. We have a fit problem. We got to bring an extra guy over when the tight end inserts, and I'm sure they've talked about that, whether it's a linebacker or a safety coming over to be that extra tackler, and we'll get the extra hat there.
Well, guys, you got to love what you're seeing on the sideline right now, and this is an area where you really can't overstate the emphasis of some players. Kane Brackney over here coaching up Terrence Evans and teaching him how to get off some of those blocks, and really motivating, saying, hey, we're going to get this. We've got it right here. We're going to go out and do our job.
Love to see that.
Coach Graham mentioning Brackney and Cook as 2 guys he really wanted leadership from, and that's what's happening. Turner going to punt it away. A really nice boot. A 1-on-1, and that's a tough assignment. David Thomas takes it past the 50. You have 1-on-1 with one of the best guys in the state. A tough assignment, and David Thomas just ekes out there, and we push him out of bounds. 8 for Union, 13 for Stillwater, 3:33 left on the clock for the Pioneers as they're continuing to drive. They've scored on their last 2 drives after going down 8-0 with a sloppy first half for them. Union dominating. The script was flipped as now they have a net 7-yard punt on that, still after a nice punt by Stone
Yeah,
Turner.
that's impressive. That's a big return.
Golly.
This first couple plays right here is going to be huge for us right here, because Stillwater also gets the ball after the half too.
Correct. Ball at the 48-yard line now. 3:33 left to go in the first half. It's Taptoe in the backfield, throwing it out left. Now you're seeing a rhythm. Deacon Jones, the junior wide receiver, looks like trying to get in there to rip it loose. We've put the ball on the ground a couple times. It'd be nice to get a turnover here.
Yep. Quarterback's had time to settle down and get into his throws, throw into the flats and their smoke screens. And it could be a problem getting the ball number 1 and 2 could be a problem for us.
Good tackling on that to save something bigger from happening. 2nd and 5 now at the 43. Taptoe outright immediately turns to David Thomas. Another catch as Castellanos was in the area, but that is a first down for Stillwater, and they're moving as the clock now stops. Immediately Taptoe just turning it out right. No one in the area.
Yeah, we're a little soft on the coverage, keeping them in front of us, and when you throw and catch, that's when it becomes deadly and difficult. Got a little soft coverage up top again. Expect more of the same.
This will be a handoff to Jaden Adams up the middle. Looks like they'll give him about 4 yards on the play, as Jaden Adams has had himself a nice second quarter and also was able, because of Jaden Adams' coach, to run that zone read touchdown. He's affecting the games in many ways.
Yep, and their offensive line has settled down a bunch too.
2nd and 7, 0 penalties for Stillwater here in the second quarter after 11 in the first quarter. This is Taptoe. He's going to keep it again in a big wrap up.
So we have adjusted. We've been a shade and 3 technique and 2-5 techniques, and we're going to a couple of 2 techniques and 3 techniques here to try to keep the bubble where they've been running the insert zone away from them. And that helped right there a bunch.
Boy, Terrence Evans with the big tackle here, and you'll see on the replay, just goes thump on the ground. That is a big man taking down Taptoe.
And again, he's got 2 more years of technique to learn and get better with, and his body type's going to change a whole bunch, and he's going to grow. He can't even drive a car yet.
Right.
I mean, not old enough.
And you're talking about, Rick always talks about the flat-bellied big guys.
Yes.
It just seems like that's where we're headed with Terrence Evans.
Yes, absolutely.
Where you'd think in 2 years you're talking about some nice futures.
And again, a Jordan Kelly that played for us here and played for me here, that played at University of Oklahoma, those kind of guys, Demarion Thomas. Terrence has the same qualities and potential, and he's going to do nothing but get better, and we're going to love having him.
So we've got Evans, Rowe, and Cozart on the defensive line, and then Brackney. We've got Rion out there as well as Tucker at linebacker, seeing what they can do. 3rd and 7, ball at the 34-yard line for Stillwater. Logan Haney back there as well. Taptoe in the backfield with Adams. We'll see what the Pioneers do with 2:23 left. Taptoe going to go for it all. A big pass right side. Heckard closing fast, and it's incomplete.
And just enough of a distraction that the ball had hit the receiver, and he made a good attempt at it, but just enough distraction there by Gabe that he couldn't complete the catch.
You love to see that from Heckard. And again, we talked about first live action last week, and now he's matched up with Deacon Jones on the right side and makes him miss.
Let's not jump off sides here. Let's make them make a play to get the first down, and let's get off the grass.
4th and 7 at the 34-yard line. Plenty of time left, and Coach Graham has 2 timeouts in his pocket, only down 5. If you can stop him here, you've got about 70, 65 yards until pay dirt, but you got to stop him here if you're Union. Taptoe taking the snap. He wants to pass. No, he wants to run. He leaks out back in the end zone. It is intercepted.
Just stay there. Just stay there. Just stay there. Just stay there.
He comes out, tries to return it. Gary Heckard, his first interception of his career after the first live action, and instead of the touchback, he does start to run it back, but you have that turnover now, Coach. It's a 95-yard situation, 2 timeouts, 2:05 left, and Gary Heckard, 2 guys juggling it, plus the receiver, Taptoe throwing on the run, and my goodness, a huge play for the Union Redhawks, a jump ball that was just behind the receiver.
And just enough pressure to make him throw on the run and throw off balance. And again, a young play there by Gabe Heckard. Stay in the end zone, but get that ball in the 20. But a really good athletic play to get the interception.
Union needs 94 yards for a touchdown with 2 minutes left. The snap. the handoff. Tay Perry deep in his own zone and going nowhere. And at this point, you can't go backwards anymore. And that's the bad part about not taking that touchback, is you've just put yourself in the shadow of the goal line with the clock running. Now ball spotted at a 3-yard line. What do you do? What's the play?
Well, now you run the ball in between the tackles and you burn some clock and try to pin them deep if we can't get a first down here.
Field for injury.
Man down on the field for Stillwater. This is going to be number 21, and it does not look like a cramp situation. It's hard to tell, but Caden Johnson holding his left leg. I'm not going to try to diagnose anything, but he is down.
Nope.
Teammates have left the area, and it
safety for him that's been around the football quite a bit tonight.
Caden Johnson for sure. He's one of the big players on this team. So we're going to step aside for a minute. We'll be right back here in the Union Sports Network as we get this injury here sorted out. And we are back here on the Union Sports Network, 13-8. Stillwater up on Union. Union in the shadow of their own goal line. It is ball on their own 3, second down. Skylar Mormon going to take the snap in the end zone. Caden Johnson was the defender who went off.
We got to learn to snap the ball as they're backing up.
Stillwater, that prowler defense running all around. Skylar gets it out quick, and this has a man in space. Stone stays on his feet somehow and gets positive yardage. You kind of thought that could go really big. He shedded one guy, but a nice job of rally tackling there for Stillwater, getting up on one of the most skilled receivers in the state in Stone Turner. And it's a completion. Okay, you're just getting out of that shadow.
Yes, absolutely. And then let's let the clock run here a little bit. Get as many yards as we can here on third down and see what happens.
And having those 2 timeouts. Of course, the injury timeout doesn't count against, so we've still got the 2 timeouts with less than a minute left. If something pops here, you never know what could happen. 3rd and 9, ball at the 7. Skylar Mormon still back there at quarterback. 1 out left, 1 out right. Tay in the backfield.
Got to get rid of it. Got to get rid of it.
Out of the end zone, and now he's going to run to his right. This could be a first down and more. It'll be close.
It'll be just short.
It will not be a first down, and now you kind of just let the clock run out maybe. I mean, the other coach, Kaywood, doesn't have any timeouts left.
No,
33
let this
seconds.
run. You might just let this run all the way. Yeah, they're going to pull him off the field.
The play clock is 1 second ahead of game clock, so you may have to do something, run it. What do you do here when there's 2 seconds difference like that?
We're probably going to call a timeout.
Yeah, so 15 seconds, 14 seconds, and the play clock is now 2 seconds ahead of that, so you can't quite run it out. 4th and 3 on the 13. Union still has those 2 timeouts. So, again, 13-8 is looking like it's going to be the score.
Well, we don't have to run a play. We're okay.
There you go. And they are going to let it go. So 13-8, Stillwater takes the lead in the second quarter, but Union still very much in it in a fantastic football game so far, a battle of 6A1 and 6A2. We'll take you to halftime. Thank you so much for being with us. Stick with us. We've got a halftime for you, and we'll do an analysis a little later as we come back for the second half. Union Sports Network.
Hey, Union fans, score big with TTCU Federal Credit Union School Pride Card. Each time you use your card, we donate to Union Public Schools, adding to the $2.5 million we've given statewide. TTCU, where members are raving fans.
Select Commercial Group, a part of Coldwell Banker Select, is a highly reputable and professional firm specializing in commercial real estate services. David Roberts heads up the group with over 40 years of management experience and over 20 years in the real estate market. Sarah Bergeson, Scott Job, Jason Smith, Amy Bauman are skilled professionals that are poised to help you achieve your goals. Select Commercial Group treats their clients like family. With a wealth of experience and expertise in the industry, they are dedicated to providing exceptional services to clients seeking commercial real estate solutions. Whether you are looking to buy, sell, lease, or invest in commercial properties, their expertise covers various sectors, including office spaces, retail properties, industrial facilities, and more. Select Commercial Group is the go-to partner for all your commercial real estate needs. Call 918-695-6979 or 918-394-0700. A sponsor of the Union Red Hawks.
Life doesn't wait for you to slow down. When you're moving fast and something doesn't feel right, Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma is here to help you stay in motion. Through our combined expertise in orthopedic surgery, non-surgical medicine, and comprehensive whole patient treatment, our team has your back and every other joint too. Ready to get back out there? Visit AOOK.com and let's move forward together. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Heal, recover, advance.
When summer heats up and your AC isn't working right, be cautious of being pressured into a replacement.
It's always a good idea to get a second opinion, and Airco will let you know if your AC is worth fixing.
So call Airco today for a free second opinion.
Does your school or organization need athletic apparel or spirit wear? Let me suggest Inkwell, a Tulsa-based company that can get you the quality you deserve at unheard of and unmatched lead times. Talking 2 weeks or less, not 2 months like most others, and can do it as much as 60% less than most of the big guys out there. So join the likes of Sand Springs, Union, Broken Arrow, Jinx, Oolaga, and Glenpool to name a few, and get your customized sublimated uniforms, including Under Armour, Nike, or Adidas at InkwellNation.com.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Shields is now open at the Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, and we can't thank you enough for the warm welcome. Whether you love the great outdoors, sports, or fashion, Shields has something for everyone. Our passionate and knowledgeable Shields experts are excited to welcome you to explore thousands of brands and premium products. From our golf simulator, service shop, archery lanes, and more, we're ready to get you fitted with the best gear for you. We can't wait to see you at Shields.
Welcome to Halftime Entertainment, as presented by the Union High School Marching Band. Now entering the field is the 2025 Renegade Regiment. The Union High School Renegade Regiment is under the direction of Charles Pizarro and Danny Cole, with assistance from Matt Barnes, Garrett Dwyer, Kylie Hubbard,
Ashley McAllister, Travis Smith, and Cecily Yoder. Further assistance is provided by staff members Toby Donaldson, Aiden Eames, Seth Garcia, Eliana Harr, Jack Hall, Nina Kwan, Chance Jackson, Owen Caracas, Alexis Lamo, Caleb Maddox, Foster Maddox, and Antonio Palacios. Tonight's Union Renegade Regiment halftime performance is sponsored by Magnum Electric, Quick Trip, Texoma Tractor, Muskogee Bedouin Shrine, Flash Visual Media, Oklahoma Port Council, Fast Signs of Tulsa, Marshall Family Catering, Rucker Lamps, Bees Code Customs, Resistance Indoor Percussion, Scissortail Financial, and Gathering Place. Tonight's performance features the first two segments of the Renegade Regiment's 2025 competitive program, featuring the music of Stephen Malillo and Masanori Taruya. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field drum majors Sean Trice, Emily Gonzalez, Aaliyah Albert, Anita Zhang, and the Union High School Renegade Regiment. And now, up on your feet, please, Red Hawks fans, as the Renegade Regiment plays the Union Fight song. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for your Union High School Renegade Regiment. The Union High School Marching Band is a 12-time Band of America Grand National Championship finalist, and in 2025 will be making competitive appearances in Owasso, Broken Arrow, and Indianapolis. The Renegade Regiment has performed in the Orlando Citrus Parade, the Walt Disney World Parade, the Phoenix Fiesta Bowl Parade, the Pasadena Tournament of Roses, and the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City.
Is now open at the Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, and we can't thank you enough for the warm welcome. Whether you love the great outdoors, sports, or fashion, Shields has something for everyone. Our passionate and knowledgeable Shields experts are excited to welcome you to explore thousands of brands and premium products from our golf simulators, service shop, archery lanes, and more. We're ready to get you fitted with the best gear for you. We can't wait to see you at Shields.
Select Commercial Group, a part of Pregame Benefit Select, is a highly reputable and professional firm specializing in commercial real estate services. David Roberts heads up the group with over 40 years of management experience and over 20 years in the real estate market. Sarah Bergeson, Scott Job, Jason Smith, Amy Bauman are skilled professionals that are poised to help you achieve your goals. Select Commercial Group treats their clients like family. With a wealth of experience and expertise in the industry, they are dedicated to providing exceptional services to clients seeking commercial real estate solutions. Whether you are looking to buy, sell, lease, or invest in commercial properties, their expertise covers various sectors, including office spaces, retail properties, industrial facilities, and more. Select Commercial Group is the go-to partner for all your commercial real estate needs. Call 918-695-6979 or 918-394-0700. A treasure of the Union Red Hawks.
Life doesn't wait for you to slow down. When you're moving fast and something doesn't feel right,
Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma is here to help you stay in motion. Through our combined expertise in orthopedic surgery, non-surgical medicine, and comprehensive whole patient treatment, our team has your back and every other joint too. Ready to get back out there? Visit AOOK.com and let's move forward together. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Heal, recover, advance.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We're just getting ready to start the third quarter, 13-8. Stillwater over Union, starting this second half soon. Dave Davis in for Rick Cord today. We have Jeff Johns, Richard Johns, Jeff Brown here. And Coach Brown, you have some score updates for us. A lot of important games going on tonight.
Yep. Looks like Broken Arrow just scored opening of the second half. They're up 7-3 on Fayetteville. Owasso and Jinx, and it looks like they're in a battle. Owasso was up 21-7, and Jinx just scored to make it 21-14. So a couple of games there for some really quality teams again. Mustang has just pulled ahead of Yukon quite a bit, and just some games of interest around the area. Bixby's up pretty big on Sand Springs, 42-7 at halftime. And then we got a battle right here too.
The Norman schools battling as well. But let's talk about it right now. As you mentioned, Coach, looking at the halftime stats, what jumps off the page to you? To me, it's Jaden Adams starting off nothing, and then that running back for Stillwater, 102 net yards. Tay Perry Spate, 65 net yards rushing, 31 through the air. He's been the offensive star so far.
Yep, they found a running play that's worked for them, and I know we made adjustments at halftime to try to fit that, or what do we have to do, that insert zone that they're running. And again, our bright spot has been Tay running the football, or Tay catching the football. LJ's had some really good runs. Like Rich said a while ago, they're going to sell out and stop in the run. We've got to complete some passes with pressure on us.
The scoring plays. Union, Tay Perry Spate had a 60-yard run to open the scoring with a Skylar Moorman conversion to Kane Brackney 8-0. Tank Tapto then came back with a 3-yard run on an option play in the second quarter, but a failed 2-point conversion left it 8-6, Union still winning, and then 6:50 left in the second quarter. It was Brandon Mitchell with a 9-yard reception from Tank Tapto. Brandon Mitchell, a defensive player playing both sides of the ball, so the two number one receivers for Stillwater. David Thomas has 53 yards, 3 catches. Deacon Jones has 34 yards, 3 catches. On our side, 2 receivers with stats. Only 2 receivers with stats. You got Stone Turner, 4 catches, but they've really limited him, Coach, to 11 yards. What are they doing that seems to be just stopping Stone from breaking one?
When we're in an obvious passing down, they're bringing more guys than we can block, 1 extra guy than we can block. We don't have time with the way they're doing things to throw a 15-yard out route or a 15-yard post or a slant route right now. We've had to settle for some smoke screens and bubbles and get the ball out as quick as we can. We got to find a way to get some boots and get out of the pressure and get a drag coming across the middle. And again, this is we talked about just a few minutes ago too. This is the biggest drive of the game right here. We need to get this to stop.
The key play of the game was the onside kick from Stillwater midway through the second quarter that Stillwater recovered. Union kind of froze. It was a pooch kick, onside kick that Stillwater, and then they went down and scored. That is the key part of the game so far, but that can all change. It's only a 5-point game with Stillwater receiving the kick, and we think and we believe it's going to be Thomas and Jones back receiving that kick, and it is for Stillwater, the 2 breakout athletes from this Pioneer squad that is hoping to make it back to the state title game this year for the 4th time in 7 years. This is a kickoff that is veering toward the out of bounds. It's going to be caught inbounds by Stillwater, though, and that'll be inside the 30-yard line. So Gavin Litchfield has been so reliable this year, has not missed an extra point, only missed 2 field goals last year, was 55 for 56 for extra points. A reliable guy, and now they're behind their own 30.
But that's awesome. That was a tough kick into the wind, and guess who makes the tackle running down there? Is the guy with the most offensive yards for us rushing and catching was Tay Perry making the tackle on that kickoff.
Defensively, Rion Williams has 3 tackles, Tucker Cook 4, Gary Heckard 3, Logan Haney has 5 tackles today. It will be Stillwater starting. It was a quarterback battle, but it has all been Satank Tapto so far. This will be a great wrap-up by 2 Union defenders. That's going to be Rion and Gary Heckard. Rion Williams and Gary Heckard ganging up on Deacon Jones to bring him down. And nice job, just right there on the money. They know it's going to Deacon. They know it's going to the number 1 receiver, and they stop him.
If they're going to throw a short pass like that, you got to give them just the 4 yards that they get. Don't give them any more, and Gabe, you did a job tackling.
Tapto and Ethan Evans were the 2 quarterbacks going into the preseason, and Coach Kaywood has gone with Tapto all night. Union has gone back and forth with our quarterbacks. A hand got in there trying to rip the ball out of Jaden Adams' hands as he runs for a first down. Logan Haney ended up with the tackle, had 5 assisted tackles for a total of 2.5 in the first half, and he's getting in on the action there.
That was 2-back power that time for them, and we did a decent job of fitting it. Let's see if we can make an adjustment right here. Here it is again, same play. They throw an RPO off of it.
That one is skipping off the hands of David Thomas with Oliver Smith in coverage. Oliver so far has played a solid game and hasn't given up any big plays. And I know last week we gave up big plays. This week we've seemed to limit that in the backfield. They did have a big 30-yarder, but it looks like our defensive backs have settled down.
They sure have. We'll give them 1 30-yarder game. That's about all we can give up, though.
So Tapto steps in now, 2nd and 10 on the 34 for Stillwater. They're up 5 and bringing a blitz. This is getting home and getting away somehow is Jaden Adams. Goodness, you can see Kane Brackney, number 4, just has his hands on his head. Oh, he had him.
He sure did, but man, you got a wrestler running the football. Those kids are hard to bring down.
Low center of gravity, 5'7". Go ahead.
Yeah, guys, down at halftime, Coach Graham was telling them this is a really simple game. And in the first half, they were just more physical. They wanted it more. You're seeing the physicality from the Union defense right now.
And after a great first quarter where Union shut them out 8-0, Stillwater just turned it on. 11 penalties in the first quarter alone for Stillwater, 0 for the rest of the game so far. Tapto takes the snap on 3rd down, and it's intercepted.
Nice job, Ian.
It's intercepted. Ian Castellanos changed numbers. He's number 3, number 27 last year. He had 1 interception last year, and he has 1 already. Ian jumping in front of the ball, and that's one way to change a game.
Not a really good pass. He really kind of missed him by a large margin right there. I think the receiver was open a little earlier. And on Saturdays, you'll see a much better pass from those guys hitting that guy in the chest, but we'll take it.
We've had an onside kick, we've had a fumble, but that is Tapto's 2nd interception, and both of them have been really overthrown. That is a good sign for Union. This is Taylor taking the snap, and that's going to not be where either McCreary thought it was going to be or Taylor thought it was going to be. A miscommunication.
Sure
2 catches last week for Jackson, and just not kind of finding that rhythm. I mean, again, 4 catches for Stone Turner, but only 5 catches total on the entire offense. Only 5 receptions so far in this game.
We got to find something that works for us in the passing game here in a minute.
2nd and 10 on the 35 after a huge interception by the senior, one of the leaders, number 3, Ian Castellanos, who earned that single-digit number as Antonio Graham's system is. Dylan Taylor takes the snap, and he's going to hand it off. Keep it safe here to Tay Perry. Very solid, and that is going to be close as Stillwater rips the ball out late. As Tay Perry, that's going to put him over 100 yards total for the game with that 7-yard run. Already Tay Perry finding himself in this game. He's going to split out right now, looking for a screen pass. It'll go the other side.
Baby.
It almost looked like Stone Turner was going to do the double pass like they tried last week, but he just took off.
That's a play, though, that we want to actually run faster after a running play like that and get lined up. We got lined up slower than we wanted to, and you can attack that much faster and it's way more successful.
And that's been somewhat unusual, Coach, because I've noticed the urgency with this team. It seemed like, especially last week, even in the loss, getting up to the line fast, we need to continue to do that. First and 10 at midfield for Dylan Taylor with Tay in the backfield. The handoff goes to Tay. Everybody washes out, and Tay had a lot of room. Everybody going the wrong direction for Stillwater as Tay gets past that first level.
Just be patient. Just be patient.
That one will go for, they're going to call it about 8
We got to get this lined up a little bit quicker, and this will be better for us right here.
7-yard run on that one. This is out to Stone Turner. He is going to take it up.
We'll take that
very close to the first down, and yes, that will be a first down according to where the referee on our side is spotting it. And it will be. They are moving the chains now. First and 10, Union finding that offensive rhythm after a quiet second quarter, getting shut out in the second quarter. Union back on the horse here.
Be patient in the run game. The run game will slow down their blitzing and give us a chance to throw the ball downfield here in a minute.
Only 4 catches for Stone in the first half, 2 so far in the first 4 minutes of this quarter. Ball at the 39. This will be a run play to Tay. Again, cannot get past the big man. Goodness, this is a big defensive front. That's Nehemiah Colon, 6'5", about 260. He's listed at 6'4", 260. Looks every bit.
He sure does. He's a good-looking 260, and I know somebody that didn't, and that's myself. So he makes 260 look a lot better than I do.
Trace in Germany also in on that tackle. This is just a big defensive front, a big offensive line for a 6'2" team, especially Stillwater, physically imposing. Second and 11, Dylan Taylor has a nice pocket initially, and then holds on to it. Trace in Germany gets in there. Nehemiah Cologne doing the celebrating, but it looked like
we had time.
Trayson was on the bottom.
We had some time earlier there, and I don't know if it was the guy that wasn't open he was looking at, or the route wasn't correct. He had some time and rhythm. We got to get rid of that on time, and you can't double clutch that one.
Yeah, he had a pocket there for a moment there for a few seconds. 3rd and 17, Union going backwards after a drive that has really been going along quite nicely. Back at the 46-yard line, they're going against the wind. We should mention that too. Taylor pops it out to Tay Perry. This will get something. This will be going forward, not back to the original line of scrimmage, but getting close to the 40. Coach again going against a north wind.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to do here. It looks like we're going to bring out a different team.
We're going to give us a punt. We're going to punt it right here.
There it is. Stone Turner is back there to punt now. So we are going to punt again against the wind. Stone Turner struggled on the first punt. The second punt, he just boomed, but it was a big return. So this time, you don't need another big return here.
Sure don't. We're going to punt into the wind, too, here. Let's corral him and pin him deep as we can.
Stone Turner back to punt.
Yeah, we jumped. We flinched.
That will be a penalty on Union. Coming back the other way.
Ball start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
That is the first penalty since the first quarter. After 13 combined penalties in quarter number 1, a clean second quarter. I believe this is now the first penalty of the third quarter, and that will back Union up now. 4th and 18. Now they're punting from the 47-yard line of Stillwater, still in Stillwater territory, against this about 15-mile-an-hour north wind. That
we're moving again.
Like another penalty flag.
Yeah, that's on Pat Thompson down here at the bottom. He's rocking backwards on his heels. Couldn't hold it.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remain 4th down.
You know, the Stillwater crowd has really filled out. There weren't many people here about a half an hour before kickoff, and they've got a loud student section over there. You can really hear the reaction. They're traveling well after being a successful program and maybe not making an impact on the game, but it looks like they have brought quite the crowd with them, and they are vocal. This will be a Stone Turner running out and then punting it to his right to an empty area of the field around the 30, bouncing for the Stillwater bounce, and a nice acrobatic catch there to stop the progress by Ian Castellanos. After the interception, you'd go all out.
Yeah, that was tough right there. That's into the wind, a little rugby-style punt, and we didn't net a whole lot on that one.
So Stillwater will be starting from the 35. Union stopped Stillwater on their first drive after, of course, they received the kickoff. Union looked like they had a good drive. Coach Foster has now had some more time with the defense, sending it back out there after the offense couldn't punch it in.
Yeah, we had some good adjustments, I thought, and we're going to make some more here, and got to find a way to get off the grass, give the offense another chance to go score for us.
6:49 remains in this third quarter. This game is now at about an hour 45-minute mark. Jeff Johns has something for us on the field. Jeff, what are you hearing in the huddle down there?
Yeah, guys, they're going to take a little bit of extra time since we are now in a TV timeout, this game being televised. And I got to see Coach Graham do one of his apparently we do halftime interviews in these games. So just a little bit different, different coaching staff. Coach Graham's really made himself accessible. Talked to me in his locker room, in his office there for a little while before the game. And, really appreciate the level of openness that they've got here on the sidelines with the amount of intensity. It's not necessarily something you would expect.
We get going again. Taptoe looking, already thrown 2 interceptions. Union hoping for another turnover. Now Taptoe's going to get loose along the right side, but there is contained. There will be a penalty along that side of where Taptoe was running. Let's see if it's going to be a hold on the Pioneers. Jeremy McCurley, the referee.
Yeah, that's a spot. I'm going to take that penalty.
Holding on the offense. It's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains first down.
It's 1st and 20. I'll take that one.
Boy, the Stillwater section making their boozer. They are out there and they are loud, traveling for their Pioneers. So now, 1st and 20, going the right way for Union.
That was a good coverage for us, though. His first option wasn't there, so he takes off and running, and Dejon sets up outside, forces him back in where pursuit was, and then we got a holding penalty against the receiver that was blocking Dejon, so we'll take that.
And you take a big hit. I mean, Taptoe took a big hit along to go with that and going backwards 10 yards to boot. Bringing some pressure. Brackney doesn't quite get home. Now Jaden Adams is going to try to break down. We fall down, and Jaden Adams maybe a block in the back. That is not going to be called, and Jaden Adams breaks a big one now in Union territory. It looks like our defensive back, I don't know if that was Marquavion out there. That was a 32-yard run. It looks like our number 24, Caden Simmons, might have got taken down from behind there.
Yeah, he sure did from up there on their far side.
43-yard line, first down. Jaden Adams well over 100 yards, and there he goes. He will not be caught. Jaden Adams, the 5'7" running back, makes it now the 2-score game for the Stillwater Pioneers, putting 19 on the board, up by 11 over Union, extra point pending.
Yeah, you get a missed tackle there, and then there's no other secondary support player, and we're in trouble.
Gabbert will be stepping in for the place kick, for the extra point, trying to make it 20-8. Union has made a 2-point conversion. Stillwater has failed in a 2-point conversion, and that's how we're at 19-8, somewhat of an unusual score. Almost got home. Caden Simmons really close there in the coverage. 20-8. Stillwater takes the lead. 6:07 left in the third quarter. We'll be right back. Keep it right here, Union Sports Network.
Select Commercial Group, called Paulville Banker Select, specializes in commercial real estate services in the state of Oklahoma. The team of David Roberts, Sarah Ferguson, and Scott Jobe are skilled professionals, poised to help you navigate the dynamic commercial real estate landscape with confidence. If you're looking to buy, sell, lease, or invest, Select Commercial Group is your go-to partner for all your commercial real estate needs. Gabbert to kick off for Stillwater.
We're back here with 6:07 left in this third quarter. Stillwater 20, Union 8. Still a good game, still a close game. Union still in this, but let's do a quick recap. Stillwater, a lightning quick drive, 37-second drive. Jaden Adams, the running back, had 75 yards. He had their yardage for that drive. Of course, they had the penalty as well, and Adams with the 43-yard touchdown run. This kickoff is veering right. It will be caught and not fair caught, so Union will get taken down there at the 25-yard line. Stillwater continues to pooch it, and that one was received after a penalty coming in late here. I didn't get the kickoff reception, but there's a penalty coming in late. Let's see what's going on here. I missed it. I was looking at the catch.
I did too. I kind of missed that as away from the ball there and away from the spot. And
we know our U crew does a great job, and we're seeing what's going on here. But there is all kinds of yelling going on the sidelines. Coach Graham getting very hot with one of the players coming off. We'll see how this all sorts out. Maybe penalties on both sides. I know Coach Graham was trying to get the Union players back. Stillwater's trying to get their guys back. Referee Jeremy McCurley is going to try to sort it all out here.
Yeah, let's see what this is all about here.
20-8, Stillwater still holding that 12-point advantage. Very manageable for Union. Plenty of time left.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct on the receiving team. Be half the distance to the goal. First down.
Unsportsmanlike on the receiving team. So unsportsmanlike on Union, the 5th penalty of the game. And this is the first 2 games of the season, Coach. But now we've had a couple of unsportsmanlike last week, had one here. You can see Coach Graham is really trying to, we'll say, coach him up there.
Yeah, that doesn't help us at all here. That really is an immature thing to do and doesn't give our team a chance to get back into the game.
You know, guys,
at the 12-yard
Rick calls that fanatical encouragement. And I would say that is exactly what happened. There's going to be some equipment work on the sidelines due to the amount of encouragement.
I saw a headpiece flying. Yep.
But we got to make sure that those don't happen anymore.
Skylar Mormon at the 12 with LJ McGee in the backfield, and it will be a handoff. And this could be big for LJ. After having a fumble early, he's turned it around, and LJ McGee busts up the middle, and that will help. You go backwards 15 yards on a kickoff return, and then LJ gets you a first down on one run. Here's the replay.
Yeah, we had him locked up there up front.
Boy, offensive line coming up big. An improvement already, I think, Coach, over last week, even what they were doing last week.
Oh, and the formation we have here is creasing a hole up that. We have actually 2 tight ends up top.
Ball now at the 25 for the Redhawks. Mormon hands it off to McGee, who bounces it out outside. Another first down, and he's dragged down outside 40-yard line. 39, in fact, is where they're going to spot him there. And LJ McGee, 2 rushes, and 2 first downs.
We've come in with a formation there. It's actually 2 tight ends, and it's Jamison Ringleb, and then you've got number 57, Victor Vasquez, comes in and plays tight end, and it's creating a fit problem for them.
And it's great to see Vasquez again playing both sides of the ball, playing all sorts of positions. Whatever asked of him, Coach Graham says Vasquez has been a buy-in guy from the beginning. Another handoff, and why not? Stillwater has him wrapped up, but after 2 back-to-back first downs, LJ McGee is finally stopped out there by Stillwater.
Yep.
Having a great game so far is number 25. Aries Willis hasn't had a lot of action, but Aries Willis actually on that there. So 2nd and 11, ball at the 38. Clock continues to run, under 5 minutes left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Union only trailing by 12. Stillwater has taken control of the momentum of this game, but Union has had things going. They had a nice drive going last time, and so far 2 first downs, and still trying to put some points on the board. Again, going against the north wind, and we keep mentioning that, as that's prohibitive for a field goal.
Sometimes you wait too long, and the guys up front in their stance, they've got to move. They can't sit there forever, and we couldn't get lined up in time to help them out.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Already the 3rd penalty this quarter for Union. You're seeing, very few penalties in the 1st quarter, and now you're kind of seeing what Stillwater was doing at the beginning of the game. 11 penalties in the 1st quarter. Looks like we're kind of just a little out of sync on the penalty side.
Yeah, I hope our kids aren't pressing any at all, but let's just stay with the run game, and then let's hit a pass when we get a chance to, and give us some protection time to do it.
It's only 12 points. The distance is only 12 points between these 2 teams.
A lot of football left here. A lot of football left.
2nd and 16 at the 33. Skylar Mormon going to have to bail, and he's going to get taken down in the backfield. A big-time play, a sack by number 5. Bryson Brown plays both sides of the ball. We've called his name several times tonight, and that will be a huge play. Now 3rd and 21 for Union, continuing to go backwards after a promising start with back-to-back first down runs. LJ McGee, the man who was responsible for that, comes out of the game. Tay Perry back in the game. Dylan Taylor, now the quarterback, replacing Skylar Mormon after the big sack. 3rd and a mile for the Redhawks. Already on his heels, Taylor throwing backwards. gets Tate Perry in the flat, but nothing more. And Stillwater bows up on defense after the unsportsmanlike on the kickoff return called against Union. That was a huge play by Dean Fix, I believe is who that was out there for Stillwater, stopping Union in her tracks. 4th and 21, own 28, and this will be another Stone Turner punt.
We had the screen set up, and the big offensive lineman couldn't block the smaller guys that were coming through.
I do believe that was Dean Fix for Stillwater coming in. This will be Stone Turner. A line drive punt to the left side will be picked up on the run by Deacon Jones. This could be a big problem at the 40-yard line. Popped, it looks like out of bounds. There is now a congregation on the sidelines, some jawing, nothing more than that. No flags on the field, and Stillwater will take over at about the 38-yard line of Union, already deep in territory. And boy, everything that's been advertised about this number 1, about this Deacon Jones, just a special talent and all kinds of speed.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a shot to him with the wind right here. They've got it this next 2 minutes, the shot to him here in the next play or two, especially this part in the field.
Well, and if you look at it too, with Tapto already throwing 2 interceptions and 2 really badly overthrown balls, you kind of hope that maybe you can get under another one.
True.
Castellanos, we've got Caden Simmons out there. Maybe you can get another turnover and flip it here, as Tapto has struggled in his last few. But yeah, you wouldn't be surprised at all if you see a deep shot to one of your stars. The quarterback is still Tank Tapto, got his man on the run right where he wanted to, and that will be a first down. The pass complete to Jamal Livingston. Again, this team, they play the Prowler-style defense and then also have all these guys playing offensive defense. Jamal Livingston, a cornerback, coming in at slot receiver, making a nice catch on a little slant route. Already red zone time for the Stillwater Pioneers. They're up 12, looking to increase that. Jaden Adams, who has had a nice game, 100-plus yards easily, now closer to 200 yards. In fact, he had 102 in the first half, had 75 in the last drive alone. There's 4 more, so now we're close to 180 for one running back. After doing a great job in the run game last week, Coach, I mean, holding Chris Ficklin to just 83 yards.
We're just having a bit of a fit problem with this. Is 2-back power right here, and we got to make that's a good tackle right there. There you go.
You love to see that from Tucker Cook, one of the leaders on this team, coaching up on the sidelines, and there's Tucker.
We've made a personnel adjustment. Tucker's gone to inside linebacker for the player that Coach Graham removed from the game. We brought in Rocky Bright and moved Logan Haney to an outside linebacker position, and maybe that'll help us in the inside of the box a little bit too.
Rocky Bright, number 44, someone Coach was very high on, could be a really key part of this team's future, is what Coach Graham was telling us preseason. 3rd and 7 all of a sudden for Stillwater, not looking so easy. A bad snap, Tapto takes it. He's going to take off right, close to the first down, but he is just getting pounded in there. He will not go down.
I think the second effort got it for him.
Boy, it looked like you kind of had him. He keeps driving, stays on his feet. Again, Tapto, the sophomore who won the quarterback battle preseason, is tough, taking all kinds of hits and willing his team ahead.
He sure did. We flushed him out of the pocket, and then once he scrambles, he's a good athlete.
So now sticks are down. It's 1st and goal at the 9-yard line for Stillwater, up 12 with the 3rd quarter wasting away now. Under a minute left in the 3rd quarter. Stillwater trying to increase this to a 3-score lead. Union got a good jump, good push off the jump right there.
Had an inside linebacker blitz. Both Tucker and Kane were blitzing through the A-gaps and caused some penetration and slowed back down, and it wasn't Adams that time running the ball.
It was Kyle Stokes, a guy who came in this year with Stillwater. This is a very young team, and Kyle Stokes, one of the guys on this team, he was a junior this year, had 10 yards a carry. Didn't see a lot of action last year, but Kyle Stokes getting stopped there for Stillwater. First time, I believe, he's carried the ball.
Follow number 7, Nehemiah, right here, tight end for the Stillwater. And
yeah,
good job by Mario and Ian Castellano. There we go.
Boy, DeMario Marzette coming off, setting the edge there, allowing Castellanos to come in and make that tackle. And again, another 3rd down opportunity. I mean, yes, Stillwater will let this run out, and we'll go to the end of the 3rd quarter. But Stillwater knocking on the door, but it is a 3rd down. 20-8. We'll be right back with the conclusion of this 6A1 high school football game.
Union fans, get on your feet for the Union Spirit team. TTCU Federal Credit Union is sponsored by Union Athletics, the home of the Union Athletics School Pride Card. Each time you use your card, money goes back to Union Public Schools. For the food credit, some restrictions apply. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better with balance.
Welcome back. Dave Davis in for Rick Corey, Jeff Johns, Richard Johns, Jeff Brown, all up here for you, bringing you this broadcast, and of course the wonderful U crew led by Andy Irwin doing a great job on the cameras and bringing you this live broadcast on the Union Sports Network. A quick update, the team we're playing next week in the Backyard Brawl, Jenks, they have now pulled within 7. The last update, Owasso 21, Jenks 14. A big game, obviously, always is. It's going to be at Jenks Backyard Bowl next week. But this one's not over, Coach. Third down 12.
Let's get us a stop right here. You never know, good things are going to happen. Might get a turnover, too.
Satang Tapto already has turned the ball over twice at quarterback. This will be a roll out right after the fake handoff. He may just take it into the end zone, and he will jumps, falling, dropping the ball in the end zone. However, the referees are going to throw a flag. Now a Union player goes flying. Somebody was pushed so hard, it looked like a Looney Tunes fall. I mean, this Union player went back. He got pushed hard.
I think it was Tucker Cook.
And I want to see what's going on here. He did lose the ball in the end zone. He already crossed the plane, and the referee is now going to make the call on another penalty flag after a pretty sloppy third quarter penalty-wise for Union. We'll see who this is going to be on. Conferencing with Coach Chad Kaywood. For now, it is a touchdown. 26-8. 26-8 on the Tapto rushing touchdown on a broken play. Here's the referee.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense. They will enforce that penalty on succeeding kickoff.
They're going to enforce it on the kickoff. That's the 7th penalty on Union. It was a big hit on Tapto, and we'll see an unsportsmanlike was called on Union. Some pushing going on. Yeah, boy, it's hard to tell. It kind of looked like it was on both sides from this angle. Either way, it is an unsportsmanlike, the second unsportsmanlike at least of this game by my count. 26-8. Extra point once again, almost blocked, but it does go through. 27-8. Stillwater has now taken full control of this game, up 19. There is a whole fourth quarter left, and you'd like to see at this point, Coach, just get something going on offense. Since that first drive, it's been tough.
We got to get some protection that we can throw a route that's more than 3 or 4 or 5 yards and get a chance to run a play action or a post or a slant, and we just can't protect long enough with what they're doing to do that.
And that's a great point, because folks at home may be saying, well, throw it deep, just chuck it, get it to your playmakers. But again, you have to have time to do that, and it looks like Dylan especially is just not having that time right now.
Doesn't have the time to do it, and he's not confident enough to do that just yet, and hadn't seen this style of defense enough. And the run game has worked for it, but at this point, we can't be patient enough to just run it down the field all the way.
So you're going to be seeing Union taking the field back. This will be enforced on the kickoff, so in fact Stillwater will have a much more advantageous position kicking the ball off here. They've been pooch punting it, short punting it. They've recovered a pooched onside kickoff earlier in this game, so now you're talking you're in Union's territory, basically.
They have no reason not to onside kick this.
Right, because you're going to give Union the ball, worst case at the 45.
Worst case.
So this is going to be Hands team once again. Stone Turner is up. You've got Silas Cozart there. Corion Williams is up, ready to go for Union. Also on the Hands team, number 33, Burkhalter. This will be multiple pooch kicks / onside kicks so far for Stillwater. It has been an adventure special teams wise. This will be pooched. Fair caught, so now Stone Turner's protected.
Wow.
He loses the ball. Was he run into?
Well, they had a guy awfully close. They should have been kick-catch interference, and we just dropped it. And
it goes to Stillwater, and Stone looked like he did the right thing. He's the hands guy. He waved it for the onside, for the kick, for the fair catch, but yet Stillwater still finds a way to wreak havoc.
Guys, Tay Perry was right next to Stone Turner. Stone was trying to fair catch it, and Tay ran into him. Neither of the two could catch it. And I think there was probably a Stillwater guy in the area, but it was just the two. Just like in the last onside kick catch, getting that clean area. And it's probably just some vocalization. They probably just need to work through that a little more, making sure that they're loud and vocal about who's catching the ball.
Something that we will think will be worked on this week. So Stillwater taking the ball again just at the very start of this final quarter, up 27-8, and the Union defense trots back on. A little jump pass, a short pass to David Thomas. He's going to break. Silas Cozart saves a touchdown. Does not save the first down, but Silas Cozart got out there and did make a tackle to save that one. And we have a man down now for Union.
Looks like that's Oliver Smith.
Oh, boy. You just hate to see that. Oliver Smith, just the energy, the life that he brings to this team. You know, got his hands on a couple balls last week and this week, and we'll see what the athletic staff will do, the training staff will do. But we hope Ollie's okay.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle on the defense. Penalty will be half the distance to the goal and result in a first down.
On top of that, a half the distance penalty, a horse collar tackle on Silas Cozart on that game-saving, or the touchdown-saving
for injury.
Touchdown-saving tackle on David Thomas as Ollie Smith is getting worked on. That was Silas Cozart called for that penalty. We'll be right back. Union Sports Network. Picking it right back up is Stillwater, 27-8. The ball is now on the 5 after the penalty. Oliver Smith is been walked off the field, walking off without assistance, and we hope everything is okay with that young man. Tap toe in the backfield with Adams. He's going to hand it off, and that will be a touchdown. Jaden Adams scores again. He is getting dangerously close to that 200-yard rushing mark. Union did not give up a 200-yard rusher all last season, and they're close to that as Jaden Adams has continued to find pay dirt. And, Coach, I mean, the defense, they're tired. I mean, they've been out there after the turnovers, now 2 onside kicks. It's just so hard for a defense to get flipped right back out there.
Yeah, we got a lot of things to work through, and I'm sure we will.
34-8. The extra point is good for Gabbard. So now the Stillwater Pioneers are in full control of this game, looking a little bit ahead as there's still plenty of time in this fourth quarter to have some positive things happen for Union. After going up 8-0, it has now been 34 straight points for the Stillwater Pioneers. Next week is the Backyard Bowl, and it will be at Jenks, who is just in an absolute battle with the Wausau right now. Then following that is the bye, and then district play. So, Coach, I think the silver lining, you know, Bentonville and what's happening here, none of these are district games. Playoffs obviously still in the mix, and we're looking ahead now to we've got Jenks.
I'm not sure anybody else has a 4-game stretch that plays the quality of 4 teams that we're playing the first 4 games of the year. And we got to keep the team together. You got to keep the kids playing with some pride and fighting right here and build upon some good stuff. And a whole lot of good football left in front of us this season.
Last year, of course, Union starting off 2-1 before the bye with big wins against Jenks and Bentonville. This year, they're looking at 0-2 right in the face right now after a tough loss against Bentonville, and then a Stillwater team that just looks like they're back this year after going to the state title games, losing to Muskogee last year in the playoffs. It looks like they have reloaded, and Taptoe nervous at first. The quarterback, Satang Taptoe, nervous. He's really settled down and looked really good. We've also just got a score update. Wausau and Jenks now tied at 21. That game kind of, as advertised, that back and forth battle, big rivalry brewing there. So 11:33, plenty of time left in this game for, again, some positive things to carry over into next week for Union. Gabbard, who has just been a phenomenal kicker, Zach Gabbard made every extra point, but also, Coach, these onside kicks, he's putting them right where he needs.
Put them right where they want them, putting us in a bind.
just a very tough area of the field. So this will be returned by Dejan. No fair catch. He's going to go up for the 30, trying to make something happen as the offense has been ground to a halt by the Stillwater defense. Dejan goes out of bounds at the 35. So coming out of the huddle now, Dylan and Skylar both there in the huddle. We'll see who they bring out. But again, looking at pass plays, looking at getting some receivers involved, maybe some guys, and trying to get back to something a little closer than 34-8.
We haven't taken a shot down the field, or if we've tried, it just hasn't connected, and we need to at least attempt one. The run game's been there for us. We need to attempt something down the field too. You feel great, I think, about the run game if you're Union, certainly, and Skylar Mormon, he likes to throw the deep ball. This is going to be a handoff to L.J. McGee, again, picking up where he left off. The penalties fell the last drive and stopped the last drive in his tracks, but L.J. McGee has multiple first down runs now here in the third quarter, and as you take a look at the replay, it was open for him. I mean, you know, Stillwater's giving him that. I mean, that's the split zone against that defense works really well, and we just got to be able to play off of it with something else. L.J. McGee stays on the field, as does Skylar Mormon. Pat Thompson out right. Stone Turner out left. Heavy personnel. Skylar takes the snap. The handoff is to LJ again and gets swallowed up at the line, gets knocked down by, again, Bryson Brown, who brought the last drive to a stop. The fourth down stop, Bryson Brown, number 5, continues to come up big. And, in fact, that is number 8. That's Bradford Mitchell, who scored the touchdown earlier, plays both sides of the ball. These guys are just all over the field. The single digit's pretty good. 7, 8, 5.
Yes, they are. They're doing a really good job tonight. Now they're pinning their ears back and they can be aggressive and have no consequences.
2nd and 9, just shy of midfield. Skylar Mormon. It's going to be the double reverse and another fumble. The fumble is on the ground again. The turnovers have plagued Union. Stone jumped on that reverse, but the reverse, you know, the timing with it, it has to be perfect, and on that one, just off.
I'm not sure we have any toes left to shoot off at this point. We might have one.
Boy, you know, we'll get to the turnovers and everything at the end of the game, but obviously 2 fumbles, and then the onside kick, it's been tough on that side of the ball, but Union still trying to make positive things happen. Less than 10 minutes left to go, 34-8. Stillwater in control. Union driving on a 3rd and 13 at the 42. Of course, it's all go. That's going to be a full-out blitz, and this is Dewberry. He can boogie. He can really move.
He's got a chance.
There goes Dewberry.
He's got a chance.
50-yarder. Last week, he gets tripped up at the 5. That's back-to-back week, Coach. 50-yard plays by Dewberry on back-to-back weeks. He almost broke one earlier, if you remember, and he was tackled. Look at this.
If he can run north and south, if he doesn't make any moves east or west, he's going to be hard to handle, and he sure was right there. And a shoestring brings him down right here. I mean, it was a shoestring.
Oh, Dewberry thought he had it.
He
Just
sure
remember,
did.
You were talking about coaching up Dewberry and saying, hey, run north-south on that previous play where he went east and west.
Yes.
That's coaching.
Yes, he needs to go north and south only.
This is Skylar Mormon, who made a fantastic throw. It was a 0 blitz practically, and that was a 47-yard scoot. Tay Perry going to try to bring it a little closer in this scoreboard. Goes up forward. So on that 0 blitz, Skylar's got to get the ball off now. And he did a great job.
He gives some ground, too, because it was a screen. He's given some ground, allows the rushers to get another extra yard behind the ball, and he put it on the money, and that one timed up really well.
That's how you beat a blitz. Ball at the 5. Goal line time for Union. It is L.J. McGee in the backfield after that run by Tay. Skylar is going to take the snap. It's going to go to L.J., and that's pay dirt.
There we go, touchdown.
That's pay dirt. If it's not a win, it can at least end positive. We have 8:25 left in this game. It is now a 20-point game. Extra point pending. Gavin Litchfield, will he come out? Will we try for a 2? Don't know, but it's going to be a 20-point game. And Union on the board with L.J. McGee. That is his first touchdown as a Union Red Hawk varsity.
And again, a kid that works his tail off and works hard, and again, loves to see him smiling in the hallways at school, and really happy for that moment right there.
The snap, the hold, and Litchfield remains perfect. Dating back to last season, by my count, that is going to be 57 out of 58. or 58 out of 59 extra points over the last 2 seasons, one of the two.
The growth that Gavin's had in the 3 years he's been kicking for us, and just the time that he puts in and the effort he puts in, the work he puts in is just second to none. And that gets lost when you look at the linebackers doing drills at practice and the work that the kickers do onto the side. It gets lost and not recognized enough, but really, really happy for Gavin.
A lot of work put in. So that's going to be a 6-play, 65-yard drive as we look at the replay. Can't see that enough. L.J. McGee, first varsity touchdown. 6 plays, 65 yards. A 3-minute 10 drive. Felt shorter than that with a huge Dewberry 47-yard catch. L.J. McGee finished off with that 5-yard run, now 34-15. So in games like this, 19-point spread, Stillwater, what's the coach saying in the huddle at this point, most likely?
It comes down to the fundamentals. We got to do technique right. We have to fit things right, and we have to keep our eyes right if you're in the secondary. It's doing the little things right so that when you go on from here, that you built upon the technique and the foundation of what your basic skills are.
Because remember, it's 19 points. If you can somehow get a quick turnover, then you can make it 13. And then you got 7 minutes left.
Yeah.
And in high school football, you never know what happens.
Know.
So there can be no give up here. And it doesn't seem like there would be because this team
absolutely
is
and
not a give up
you'll
team.
find out a lot about yourself who plays the game hard right here.
Litchfield for the kickoff. It's onside, and it's caught.
Good catch by him.
Nice job on the run.
If 22 doesn't catch that, we're going to get that.
Lucas Lamone, a 9-year starter. That's why you have your hands guys in there. But, boy, we were right on that, too. If Lamone even blinks, it's Union ball. Ball at the 50 now for the Stillwater Pioneers. There will be no timeout. Everybody back up on the field. And you'd like to see this, coach, is that everybody's hustling. There's a sense of urgency still. We're not walking. We're not hang-dogging.
It's the second ball game of the year. There's a lot of these kids out here that need all these reps that they can get to get better. And they've got to continue to play the game hard with good technique.
And unlike other leagues, we're talking about NFL, college, district play hasn't started. And we know district play matters for the playoffs. That is all that matters for the playoffs. Jaden Adams trying to make himself a 200-yard day. If he hasn't already, he goes forward once again for the Stillwater Pioneers. Again, just talking about him. This team is so young. The Stillwater team, sophomores, juniors. This Jaden Adams is a sophomore, 5'7", 170, already a state champion and wrestler. A young team like Stillwater, they could be really scary.
Oh, they could. They're going to play. They're probably not going to play a team until they get to Thanksgiving that's as tough as they're getting tonight from us.
197 yards now for Jaden Adams as Tank Taptoe goes by Tank, the quarterback. It's going to be a procedure penalty.
Snap. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
And that will be
Remains
on
second
Stillwater. That is their second penalty of this second half. They've averaged 1 penalty per quarter after 11 in the first quarter. Stillwater obviously has settled down. Coach K Wood, very well coached team as we saw Coach Graham on the sidelines here. A moment for Coach Graham, starting off like this. Like you said, this is where you find out who's playing hard.
And he's got to build his program too. And so he's got a lot of work there, and he knows he does. And he's going to take his lumps, and he understands it, but he's going to build on it too.
2nd and 12 now behind the 50-yard line. Tank handing off once again, and there he goes. That's who you know. Jaden Adams almost makes it all the way for a 51-yarder. Instead, he'll settle for a 49-yard run. And once again, knocking on the door, the Stillwater Pioneers. Quarterback looked like doing a little bit of blocking there on the side. And Jaden Adams now well over 200 yards. And just, boy, he's so good and he's so fast.
Yeah, they block us at the point of contact, and we just not physical enough there.
Ball at the 2-yard line, 7 minutes, clock is still running. Not a sense of urgency here for Stillwater, but this drive has just gone that fast because of that 49-yard run. It was 7.2 a carry for Jaden, and it's now likely above 8 after that one. 8 yards a carry for that young man as Tank Taptoe walks into the end zone on a nice read. He read Logan Haney there and just made the right choice.
Yep, he did.
Touchdown.
We were coming hard off the edge, and we didn't have a quarterback player.
Golly, 40-15, a nice play from Tank Taptoe. You're talking about starting off the game, passes are high, everything's jittery, and now
and they settled down after that first quarter. They're a different football team than the first quarter of the game.
6-2, look out for Stillwater and Tank Taptoe and Jaden Adams and all these Pioneer players. This is looking like quite a team. Another penalty. Here we go.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense.
It'll back them up 5 yards on the
Repeat
extra
the try.
point for Stillwater, called against Stillwater. 14 penalties. It hasn't ended up costing them too much, and it just looks like in this game, Coach, you have a new quarterback like this top-toe young man. You're not asking him to pass a lot of high-degree difficulty. Keep it on the ground.
And they have. And it's, since the first quarter, been successful for them. That's the kind of effort you're looking for, though. Caden Simmons still coming hard off the edge. He's going to get one of those here in a critical moment in the season for us in block one. So you got to keep coaching that up.
He's been in the backfield several times. We'll be right back with the conclusion of this fourth quarter. 6:39 left, 41-15 Pioneers, Union Sports Network. We're back for the kickoff for the Stillwater Pioneers, looking like they're going to do another short one and keep kind of tempting fate here. Union calling for the fair catch is Dejon Gaines. That one is executed properly. Caught at the 27-yard line is where that fair catch happens, and Union will take over again, trying to make some positive things. You think you may start seeing some twos in here? We're still going to keep the ones in. We'll see.
Well, you got to go back to that. Just some of these kids have played 7.5 quarters of football.
Right.
So we got some. You might see a sub or two here and there, but you won't see a wholesale change.
You know, you see the ones coming back in, Skylar Mormon, Jamison Ringleb, and like Coach said, getting that first taste of varsity action through these first two games. And they have played two very good teams, we think, in Stillwater, in Bentonville. Skylar Mormon, this will be a handoff to Tay Perry, a young man who has had a nice night. He's had over a 100-yard night himself, goes out of bounds, saves a little clock there, but a nice run.
And again, we've been able to run the ball like we wanted to, just couldn't able to complement it. And if you're going to be a running football team, then the defense has to help you too. And it just hasn't been enough complementary stuff tonight.
And as we mentioned, the quarterbacks, both Skylar Mormon and Dylan Taylor, have had penetration in the backfield, and they've had to get it off and maybe not been able to throw those deep passes. We'll see here. Stone Turner, Pat Thompson out wide. The man's not there, so Skylar Mormon takes off. Looks like he wanted to go to Stone on the right side, pull it back.
That was a miscommunication from the start with the formation to what the actual play was.
Looking for Stone, pulled it down, and did, you look at it, made something positive after who knows what was going to happen.
Skylar's a senior, played some football in his career, and he knew that this play's a bust. Let me get all I can get.
Skylar Mormon, this is his third year playing varsity in a significant way. He was a sophomore starter at Collinsville, started his junior year, then got hurt last year and transferred to Union in this offseason. Handoff is handed off the wrong way. Yeah. The play goes the wrong way. Skylar swallowed up in the backfield, and now you're just kind of seeing the last two some communication issues here.
Yep, something's not flowing right.
41-15. Union has given it an effort here in the second quarter, but the Stillwater Pioneers, after being shut out in the first quarter and all kinds of penalties, Stillwater has outscored Union 41-7 since then and has really poured it on here. As Skylar Mormon going to try to convert this third down. It's 3rd and 9. Ball at the 44 for the Red Hawks. Again, the blitz, and this will be Dylan Taylor, to Stone Turner. You go for it here. You think on fourth down, obviously,
I think
in
so.
Stone, you get something.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to go for this.
You got midway through the sticks, 4th and 5, halfway between the sticks. Very makeable here. And maybe this is somewhere where you can build into next week. Start building up this passing game and saying, hey, let's get a couple completions together for Dylan. Dylan Taylor coming off an 11 for 20 performance last week, passing 119 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and last week's loss to Bentonville. This is Dylan Taylor going out left, got his man. That's Jordan Avington. We were talking about him. He's been in there. He's been laying the blocks. playing slot receiver, doing his thing, and now he gets that chance to get his first reception.
That's the pass that you can throw with a heavy blitz. It's got to be a 5-6 yard quick stop route, and that's what that was, and you got to throw and catch that, and we did.
And you love to see this for Skylar and Dylan. This experience against a good defense, this experience against these zero blitzes or very big blitzes, get it out now, and they're getting that experience in this game. Dylan Taylor. Here he is, goes out left, looks like some early contact. Stone Turner.
Sure did. Felt like it, didn't it?
Yeah, he had his back turned trying to defend against the receiver, doing the old box out thing, and he got hit, I think, on the box out. No penalty flag called there, and it is now 2nd and 10 at the 36. 14 penalties accepted against Stillwater, 8 on Union, including a few unsportsmanlike, all kinds of varieties. And Stillwater's defense, just can't say enough about them, though. I mean, obviously, we thought that was maybe a penalty, but they have been on the spot. 2nd and 10 at 36. This gets out quick to Tay in the flats. He's at the 35, the 33, and another tackle. This number 5, Coach, Bryson Brown, he has just been all over the place.
He's active, isn't he? He's active.
Nehemiah Colon, we knew he was good. Number 7, a 6'5", 260 linebacker who's going to BYU. I mean, you can't miss him. But Bryson Brown, here he is, just been all over the place, even on offense as well. Played both sides.
Stillwater runs to the football really well.
We have now a 3rd and 6 situation at the 32. Dylan Taylor whips it, and that will be intercepted. That will be intercepted. The intended receiver was Stone Turner, but instead the pass went to Jacoby Petrie, who I have not called his name a lot because it's been hard to see the numbers, but Jacoby Petrie, number 13, has also been very active, and he gets an interception here on a pass. You knew what Dylan wanted, and Petrie just jumped it.
Yeah, that's the throw wasn't on target. I don't know if the receiver should have turned in or turned out. He turned out, and the throw was inside. It was off the mark and right into the hands of the Stillwater defender.
We'll see who Stillwater brings out now. If they are going to keep their ones out, and they will. Satang Tepto.
It's their first game they've played all year, so they're gonna play their guys. They may have subbed some receivers, that looks like, and they subbed a running back.
So the new running back in the game is Maddox Staggs. He's a freshman, a 5'7" freshman, about 155, and he looks about that. Maddox Staggs getting his action in there. We're also seeing some guys, Logan Rowe coming back in, Logan Haney coming back in, Marquavion Tate, the near side cornerback, also stepping in for the Union Redhawks as this game winds down. So, Coach, 240, 41-15 Stillwater. What are some things that Union can build on for next week?
We have some good football players. We really do. So you ask yourself in the office on the weekends, is it what we're doing or who we're doing it with? And at times we have what we have, and we have some good football players. Then we have to do is to tweak some things.
This will be another handoff up the middle. Now that looked like Jaden Adams. The guys on the bottom of the pile for the Union defense include Terrence Evans and Kane Brackney, who's had himself an evening. Also Tucker Cook down there. And I've noticed in that game 1 to game 2 axiom that you were talking about, that adage, improvement from game 1 to game 2. I've noticed it on number 4. He's been very good tonight.
He plays with a lot of confidence. You like watching him play.
And he also caught the 2-point conversion for his first score as an Oklahoma high school football player. Spent his previous years at Cherry Creek, Colorado, a suburb of Denver, won a state championship out there at Cherry Creek, moved to Oklahoma, and he had his first score in this state. Another run as the clock continues to run. So Union will fall in this one. The score now 41-15. Again, next week is the Backyard Bowl at Jenks. Always a great game where you never know what's going to happen. Last year at 9-3, just an instant classic.
Yes, it was.
And then there's a bye after that.
And the games before that game, the games after that game have no impact on how that game turns out.
Right.
It never does.
And folks, I know we were last year with the Backyard Bowl. It was the comment. It's like, boy, that was a crazy game. And somebody said, well, haven't you ever been to one of these before?
Yes.
It might have been Coach Fred.
I've been in a bunch of those games and watched a bunch of them, and nothing is normal about that game.
wacky 9-3 final score in that Jenks Union game, and Union winning the regular season matchup, Jenks getting revenge in the playoffs. So, of course, Union hoping to now get their first win of the season. They will fall to 0-2. Stillwater, again, this is their first game. They improved to 1-0 in 6A2. So, Backyard Bowl, then there's a bye, and then, Coach, district play in 3 weeks. Edmond Santa Fe coming to town after we went there last year, and that will be quite interesting. Also, we should mention Jenks up on Owasso now, 31-21. Jenks has really flipped that script. Edmond Santa Fe, our opponent in 3 weeks, they're getting shut out against Edmond North. So Jenks and Owasso, Jenks looking like they're trying to pull off a huge comeback against Owasso after getting dominated in the first half. They have now poured it on and beating the Rams 31-21, so that'll be interesting. We're going to be naming our player of the game here in just a moment. Win or lose, we're going to be talking to the coach, talking to the player of the game. So stick around for the post game as we wrap up this 41-15 Stillwater victory. Union, again, not district play. This is a 6A2 opponent who's going to be very good. We've played an incredibly good schedule. And yeah, it's not the score that you want, but gosh, these are good teams we're playing these first 3 games.
Yes, they are. Everybody but the center went on that one.
We will have another penalty here.
Prior to the snap, false start. Everyone but the center. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
That's kind of what we said, the same thing.
Well,
Everybody
there's
but the
the
center.
classic one, right?
It was.
False start, everyone but the center.
Everybody but the center.
That is head referee Jeremy McCurley with it. It's unintended comedy. We'll call it that. He didn't mean it to be funny, but it was. Tyler Montgomery, also Rob Gully, Jimmy Williams, and Andy Bruner have been our referees tonight. That will make it 4th down. So another opportunity here. Stone Turner going back for a punt return, get some more reps in. And here it comes. The punt is off, and Stone Turner is going to try to return this because why not? 28 seconds left. Stone will not go down, showing off his athleticism here. Gets just popped by who else but number 5, Bryson Brown. He popped him, but then he stood over him.
Yeah, I think he had a little showboating about that one there, and that's going to give us 15 more yards.
And that's going to be an emphasis this year, we're told, by the referees. Unsportsmanlike and sportsmanship, and that right there looked like they're going to get him with an unsportsmanlike, maybe a taunting.
You make a good play like that and just go celebrate with your teammates.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct on Stillwater. Be a 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. 1st down.
And that should be an emphasis. You want to celebrate with your own teammates, and it goes the same for our team too. Something good happens or something bad happens, and you celebrate with your team.
You play the game, you get excited, the emotions are running high. You're number 5 out there. You've had the game of your life in the first game and just went a little too far there.
Yep.
Ball at the 44-yard line of Stillwater. See if there's one last hurrah here for Union, one last gap, maybe try to put one more touchdown on the board. We'll see. Skylar Mormon, we know he loves to throw it deep, and we'll see what happens here. It will be a run to L.J. McGee, who's had a fantastic game, scored his first varsity touchdown. And there's something to be said about this team, Coach, now 0-2 on the season. But, boy, a lot of these guys came back, and there was coaching changes and a lot of changes, and a lot of these guys chose to stay at Union. And even if things aren't starting off like you'd want to, like you said, circle the wagons and get these guys, make sure they're still invested.
Yep, and that's where the guys with the C on their hats down there got to go to work and coach these kids up and get the team going in the direction that everybody wants them to go.
That will be final here at Union Tuttle Stadium. Stillwater 41, Union 15 in a non-district, non-conference matchup. We're going to stick around here for the player of the game. I will step away for just a moment, and we'll be right back with player of the game.
Your Union Redhawks are on the road next week. as we travel to Jinx for the 22nd edition of the Midwest Bank Backyard Bowl. Visit www.unionfb.com for ticket information. Union Public Schools would like to thank you for attending tonight's game and ask that you help us clear the field in a timely manner.
We're back here with post-game coverage of the Union Redhawks here on the Union Sports Network. We thank you so much for joining us tonight. Dave Davis in for Rick Corey. He will be back next week for the Backyard Bowl. Coach Jeff Brown up here as well in the booth with me. Richard Johns and Jeff Johns down on the field. So what's going to happen here? Union going to gather at the alma mater, gather with the band and sing the alma mater. They will typically, what happens, they will go into the locker room right after the game, huddle, talk, and then Coach Graham typically will come out and talk to our sideline reporter Jeff Johns, and then we'll also choose a player of the game. And at this point, you know, I think the running game, LJ McGee and Tay have both been good. We're going with Tay, but it really could have been either. Tay Perry, we're naming our player of the game, and Jeff will have more. But again, Coach, this was not a running game issue. I mean, you can at least hang your hat on that. The last two games, it looks like our running game is in good shape.
I think so too, and it's just a combination of things. The offensive line they've probably focused a lot on the running game in practices, and it's hard to simulate blitzes with scout team players against the offensive line. They will get better. There's no doubt about it. The quarterbacks will get better. The receivers will get better. Winning makes everything better. Yeah. You play a team that is not the caliber of Bentonville and Stillwater and Jinx and Broken Arrow and Owasso, and then you get a win or two here and there, and then next thing you know, good things happen. I've said this I see a lot of the coaches at school and their teachers for us in the classrooms and everybody that I can talk to. You ride out the storm the best you can, and we're going to be playing on Thanksgiving if everybody will buy in what we're doing and stay afloat and get through the storm. We'll be playing on Thanksgiving, be one of the top 4 teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's realistic too, because district play hasn't started. District play, that's where the points are. That's how you get to the playoffs. That's how you get the seeding. And remember, last year Union had that 1-1 start, tough loss to Stillwater. They end up playing on one of the final plays of the final game, losing out to second place in the district to a very good Edmond Memorial team. And yeah, there were some up and downs. There were some tough losses, getting beat by 5 touchdowns by Owasso, but you stuck with it. You got third place in the district, and you were playing for second place in the last game of the season. It's not out of the realm of possibility in our district.
Not at all. And to be hosting a home playoff game and all the good things in our favor, and we're going to improve on just about every aspect of the game. We're going to improve. There's just no doubt.
We want to take a look at some of the scoring drives and kind of how we got to this final, this 41-15 score. It started off a 2-play, 70-yard drive. Tay Perry, and the reason he is the player of the game, just that 60-yard run, just lit it on fire. Kane Brackney with the 2-point catch, 8-0. And then it went Satang Tapto, the sophomore quarterback. He had a 3-yard run, one of 4 touchdowns for that young man. Just absolutely unbelievable. Sophomore quarterback making his first start. So he had a 3-yard run, fail, extra point. Tapto, a 10-yard pass to Mitchell. So that was his first passing touchdown of his career, 13-8. Then Adams, Jaden Adams, who had over 200 yards rushing, 43-yard run there. Moving on now to the third quarter. This was, again, the fourth quarter. Tapto with the run, Jaden with a run, LJ with a touchdown, and then Tapto with another touchdown run. So let's talk about Tank Tapto. 5 rushes for 21 yards and 3 scores just with his legs. 11 for 23, threw 2 interceptions, 133 yards passing, and 1 touchdown. On Union side, this is Tay Perry's spade here. 96 rushing yards on 12 rushes. That's 8 average for a long of 60. LJ McGee, 13 rushes for 85 rushing yards. Dylan Taylor, 10 for 17 with an interception. Skylar Mormon, 3 for 4, 64 yards. Stone Turner had 7 catches for 27 yards, so he was held in check. Perry Spate, 4 catches for 40 yards. And Brighton Dewberry, another 50-yard breakout. He got a 50-yard catch last week, a 51-yarder this week. Tucker Cook also had a completed pass. 16. It was Jordan Avington. It was Jordan Avington. I did it again. Jordan Avington.
We have a lot of double number kids.
Number 22 on defense. Tucker Cook, 6.5 tackles. 2 for loss. Logan Haney, 5 for 1.5. Rion Williams, 4.5. Ian Castellanos had the interception in 3.5. And you love to see that with your leaders, Coach. I mean, boy, Castellanos, another big game, had 6 tackles last week, 5 tackles. Now he has an interception. You like to see that from number 3.
Yes, you do, and there's a lot of, just looking at this whole page, there's a lot of hidden stories here, and yeah, you like it when guys have a lot of tackles, but you don't necessarily want it to be your safety in the run game. You'd like for it to be a defensive lineman or a linebacker. If a safety is making a lot of tackles in the run game, that's glad he's doing it, but it also means that we're either getting blocked up front or we're misfitting or we're missing a tackle. And that showed up in the number of rushing yards they had. You know, one player run for 248 yards for him, and that's the hidden story there, and that's what hurts.
Jaden Adams, 25 rushes for 248 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, almost 10 yards a carry after being held somewhat in check in that first half. Did not score in the first half. He himself had 2 touchdowns and 244 net yards in the game. So Jaden Adams was absolutely sensational. The most rushing yards that we've given up to a single player in at least a couple of years. You hope that doesn't happen again as the players now come out of the locker room. Let's toss it down to Jeff, and Jeff is down there with Coach Antonio Graham.
Yeah, Coach, obviously not the result that you're looking for. What do you get out of a game like this? And obviously there's plenty of things to improve on. What are the things that you want to focus in on in this coming week?
I mean, first of all, you better. The biggest thing for me is when you 0-2, you better make sure nobody gets in between, because right now everybody's going to say how bad we are, and people are going to listen, and you can't let anything get between the family, and they better be ready to come to work, you know, because right now we're 0-2, and we got a Jinx team that we got to play next week, and you know, what this old saying, kick them while they down. So.
Absolutely. Talk about some of the bright spots that you do see on, because it's not all bad. There's obviously some very talented players here. Talk about some of the kids that you like what they're doing.
Yeah, that's the frustrating part. You know, we're talented, but undisciplined, and so that's always, the undisciplined is always going to win. You know, and so. The biggest thing is that they didn't quit or whatever, and that's something I pride myself about, and so we just got to get back to work.
Well, Coach, I would hate to be doing conditioning this week. Good luck to you. Get some hard work in there, and we'll see you next week.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. Guys?
Well, Jeff, thank you very much, and you can see that Coach Graham is still locked in and focused, and just like you said, you know, Coach Brown, nobody quitting, nobody letting outside noise. Yes, there are going to be articles written. Yes, there are going to be things saying 0-2, here we go, Union's a mess and all this. But everybody circle the wagons, and this season can still turn out positive.
It's about us, and that's what Coach Graham is saying. It's about us, and he said the word family. And if you don't buy into those things, then this won't get the results that you want. But it's not about anybody else or what they're doing. It's about us and what we're doing and what we do to get better.
Jeff Johns, I lost him in the crowd. I believe we do have the player of the game, Tay Perry. We're not sure if that's still happening. Jeff, just go ahead and tell me. You just go ahead and say, are we still doing player of the game here? Yep, I kind of lost you there.
Apologize. No, we are wrapping right here. We did not get player of the game tonight.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jeff, very much. Tay Perry was it. But anyway, thank you so much, folks, for joining us. Rick Corey will be back next week. For Dave, Jeff, and Richard, thank you so much for joining us tonight.